auto mechanic. Who can you trust?
Marshfield Tiger football coach Denny Gadel joining us. Marshfield and Kaukauna this evening in VFA at Beal Stadium in Marshfield. Coach, last week's ball game had to be a bit disappointed with the tackling techniques of your defense on some plays. Tell us about some ways to correct some of those issues on your defense.
Yeah, I wish I knew, but correcting is just basically a whole lot of effort. It doesn't take much talent to put in effort, and sometimes, you get that first kid to make the hit and say, follow me, I'll do it this way, and, tackle like I do, and we'll be just fine. But sometimes you get a bad angle, and, all you got to do is that, kind of lean forward and you get one arm on them, like we talked about before, is that you get one arm on them. You're not tackling kids with one arm. These are high school football players, Division I schools, and they're good backs. You're not just knocking kids down with just falling on them. So we have to do what we got to do, and we get better. We tackle every night. I see Coach Lukey and Coach Berg and Boyle and all the defensive guys. They're hitting the tackling donuts, and it's wrap and rip and turn and roll, and everything they teach is fundamentally sound. But now when it comes down to playing, you got to do it. You're the kid out there. We as coaches sit on the sidelines, and we're just sitting on our hands because all we can do is haze in the barn, and you got to go make the plays. That's all we can do. But it's taught all week, and like I said, it's effort of the kid, and they got to do it, and they will. They'll come around, and we'll make it happen.
All right, Kaukauna coming in this week. Your thoughts about this matchup?
They're a good team, a good outfit. I like what they do defensively. They got the defense all spread out when we go in our different formations. So we're looking at how to find the little nooks and crannies that what we can do to get kids in the open and get them into space. But they're going to try to take that stuff away. Obviously, most teams do. But we'll have to make some hay up wherever else we can. Get our linemen moving and get our linemen making plays, and our quarterback, being solid. The biggest thing I think, if we look at the last couple weeks, is I don't know what you think, Gene, but the first and 20 is a heck of a day to have, and we've had a lot of first and 20 lately, getting a holding call or even the first and 15, getting a legal motion when we're in a freeze cadence. We got the stuff that tells us not to move, but we still do. They're high school kids, and we got to understand it, but we're getting better, and we'll just make sure we keep doing it. Sooner or later, it's going to click, and we'll make it happen.
Another ball club that throws the ball a lot, so you see a lot of passes out there once again this week.
Yeah, there's no doubt. We got our defensive backs are ready. They're making good plays in practice. They're covering us up. I like what they're doing in practice. They're manning us up, and we just got to get some pressure on the quarterback. If we can get some pressure on the quarterback, that makes the defensive backs' job a little bit easier.
Marshfield Tiger football coach Denny Gadel in his pregame comments. Tigers facing Kaukauna in a VFA contest here at Beal Stadium in Marshfield this evening. Let's take a few moments to introduce you to our Gross Motors car of the game from Gross Motors on North Central Avenue. The car of the game tonight, 17 Buick Enclave. This premium group all-wheel drive Enclave is really loaded with great features such as the moon roof, navigation system, leather heated seats, heated steering wheel, and Bluetooth. Just a few of the many features on this fine vehicle. This white exterior Enclave is now offered at a discount of more than $7,900. That's right, you can save over $7,900 on this 2017 Enclave. You can see it here tonight outside of Beal Stadium, or you can check it out at grossauto.com or on the lot at Gross Buick on North Central Avenue in Marshfield. Marshfield and Kaukauna meeting in this VFA football matchup at Beal Stadium in Marshfield tonight. We'll come back and talk more about this contest as our pregame report continues following these messages.
The cozy warmth after coming in from a chill morning walk. The perfect man cave turns cold. A new Rheem heating system will surround your family in total comfort. Are you feeling it? Rheem, the new degree of comfort.
Feel the warmth this winter with a new home heating system installed by the local pros at Comfort Systems Heating and Cooling. Call Comfort Systems Heating and Cooling today or see them in Marshfield at 1209 West Veterans Parkway.
Let's play Complete the Name Game. When I say River Edge, you say... That's right, golf.
But River Edge Golf Course isn't just your fun spot for golf. You should also think of them the next time you need a place to eat on Friday night. The River Edge Friday Night Buffet is simply fabulous. Check out the weekly menu at riveredgegolfcourse.com. They'd also like to host your wedding or next special event. Call banquet manager Jill Holm for available dates. River Edge Golf Course and Banquet, 715-676-3900.
No matter whose name is on the door, the person you deal with that really matters. That one-on-one relationship is what Citizens State Bank of Loyal is built on. We are a local bank. Decisions are made locally, loans are serviced locally, and if you have a question, you know who to ask. If you are looking to make some improvements around your home, upgrade, refinance, maybe add on, talk to one of the local folks at Citizens State Bank of Loyal, Branton, Neillsville, Spencer, or Marshfield. We're just down the street.
Thanks for joining us for VFA football tonight here on AM 1450 WDLB and on WDLB WOSQ.com. Marshfield Tigers and Kaukauna meeting in this VFA contest. As we mentioned, this is the first ever football game between these two schools. Marshfield and Kaukauna have never met in high school football, although there certainly is a strong connection between the two schools, as former Marshfield Tiger standout Mike Shallow has served for as the boys basketball coach at Kaukauna High School. Coach Shallow played on Bob Luxinger's first two teams in Marshfield back in 1980 and 1981. He was, in fact, the leading scorer on the Tiger boys basketball team during the 1980-81 season, averaging just over 10 points per game for Coach Luxinger and that Tiger crew. That ball club, by the way, only won one game that year and did not win any the previous year. But Coach Shallow has certainly won a number of ball games during his long tenure.
Welcome to the Zaleski Sports Show pregame show. We're here at Beal Stadium getting ready to watch the Marshfield Tigers go up against the Kaukauna Galloping Ghosts. Kickoff is scheduled for 7 p.m. and we're really excited to be here. So we have about 6 minutes left before the national anthem. We're expecting Coach Gato coming along soon after, and we'll meet up with him then.
Before the national anthem.
Before the national anthem, that's right. So, Jason, what are your thoughts on the game tonight?
Yeah, okay, well, I've certainly got a lot of thoughts. We'll see if we can keep them under 6 minutes today. I think that we can, though. Interesting note, this is the first ever matchup, Rachel, between the Marshfield Tigers and the Kaukauna Galloping Ghosts. Wow. So, Tigers and Ghosts, and we'll see who comes out at the end. Quick recap on Kaukauna. Their last 2 weeks, actually 2 weeks ago, they beat Hortonville 26-20. Last week they lost versus Menominee 41-33. So like the Tigers, they have just the one win on the year so far. I mentioned Hortonville. They beat Hortonville 26-20 2 weeks ago. Marshfield lost at Hortonville last week 22-14. So I don't know if that tells you anything. Sometimes you can glean from those type of things, and sometimes it's just one of those things where a team didn't have a good day. So we're going to find out today, though, who the better of these two teams are, Marshfield and Kaukauna. Just a quick recap last week at Hortonville. It was lack of scoring on Marshfield's part, obviously with 14 points. Brant Bowman and Isaac Meverden both caught touchdown passes during that game, both from Ryan Krieger. Yeah, and then Hortonville outscored Marshfield in the fourth quarter 10-0, and that was really the difference in the game. Those 10 points were the difference for sure, only winning by 8. So without those 10, certainly would have been a different game, and Marshfield will look to close out this fourth quarter better than they did last week. Had a chance to talk to Kaukauna Galloping Ghost head coach Matt Binsfield as the Tigers come out on the field right behind us. Talked to Coach Binsfield a little bit about his team. He feels, Rachel, really good about his quarterback, Van Aston. That's number 15 for the Galloping Ghost. 15 Noah Van Aston will look to lead the Galloping Ghost tonight, so we'll keep an eye on him. Then bulk of the carries as far as ball handling is concerned. Mason, 7 for Kaukauna. Taylor Shantz, number 9. Taylor Freilich, 22. And then as far as defensive leaders, when Kaukauna is on defense, you can definitely, we'll hear the names Mason Stewart and Jack Block and Nick Eiting. Those will be the players that Marshfield will have to overcome on offense if they're looking to score tonight against Kaukauna. So I see Coach Gadel off to our right here. He will be joining us in just a couple moments. We'll certainly send him our way. If he doesn't see us here in just a minute, we'll have Rachel go over and snag him.
That's right.
Just go grab him right by the neck and bring him over here.
No.
Oh, okay. All right. It's probably maybe what will happen here. We got quarterbacks warming up right in front of us. Ryan Krieger looking to have another good night tonight. Passed for about 150 yards last week, and he'll need another similar performance this week for the Tigers to come on Rachel, go ahead and tell folks about the Zaleski Sports Show and where to find us online.
All right, so you can follow the Zaleski Sports Show on Facebook just by logging in, go in your search box, and type in Zaleski Sports Show, and that's Zaleski, Z-A-L-E-S-K-I. You can also find us on Twitter by typing in our handle, Zaleski Sports. And then we also post pictures periodically at different games, and you can follow us on Instagram at Zaleski Sports Show. So make sure that y'all just check us out. We're ready to interact with you.
Absolutely. Okay, well, Rachel's going to just wander over and see if Mr. Delaney talked to Coach Gadel, and while she's over there talking to him to see if communication was made, we'll continue on here. So, again, we've got about 2 minutes to kick off while we wait for Coach Gadel to come over and say hi to us here. We'll get his thoughts on the game. Right past the coach. That doesn't happen very often, but that does happen every now and then. And again, tonight we'll be looking for running back Gadel to get some carries tonight, along with Brant Bowman. And then when the Marshfield Tigers do score, guys, we are looking for more two-point conversion creativity. And we think they've got a lot of fun with those two-point plays, and we really enjoy what we've got going on there. So we got 1 minute here. Coach Gadel's going to stop in. Coach, thanks for joining us here pregame. We talked a little bit about the Galloping Ghost. You're part of history tonight. First ever matchup between Marshfield and Kaukauna. Nice. Yeah, not bad, huh? Coach, coming off a loss at Hortonville last week. These guys beat Hortonville. What's it going to take to get the win tonight?
Well, we can't turn the ball over Hortonville, turn it over 4 times against them. You know, they're a good team, but we just got to get some things to go our way tonight. We had a couple of bad luck things and couldn't put the ball in the end zone. Double tip pass for a touchdown. We're looking at things. We're going to be a good team tonight. We're going to play better than what we did last couple weeks.
Coach, thanks for joining us.
Bet.
Good luck
See
today.
Okay.
All right, guys, and that was Marshfield Tiger head Denny Gadel joining us here in the pregame show. We thank him and the rest of the Marshfield Tigers staff for making him available to us pregame. Rachel, thanks for going down and grabbing him. All right.
Right by the neck, I did.
You got it. So we've got players lined up for the national anthem. Steve, we're going to throw it back up to you and get the national anthem underway, guys. We will have updates for you after the first quarter and then at halftime, so we will catch you then. Zaleski Sports Show, back to you.
Go Sports!
They were at first and goal at the 8-yard line against Hortonville last week, and couldn't get the ball in. Number of penalties, as Coach referred to in the pregame show. Coach Gadel mentioned the number of first and 10s or 15s they've run into, so they shot themselves in the foot with penalties. So, you know, Marshfield gets some of those things corrected, and, you know, they're going to be a much better ball club. But until then, it's going to be a little bit of a struggle. But tonight should be a very competitive ball game here.
Facing Kaukauna, a ball club which is 1-2, coming off a high-scoring loss against Menominee, Michigan last week, 41-33. The week before, Kaukauna beat Hortonville 26-20. They opened the season losing at Wisconsin Rapids 42-0. Before we get our ball game underway this evening, let's take time out for our national anthem. High School Band on hand this evening for our national anthem as we get set for football Marshfield and Kaukauna meeting tonight in this VFA contest at Beal Stadium, the first ever meeting between Marshfield and Kaukauna in high school football. These teams have never met before in football, so we'll see how this one comes out this evening. And the Marshfield Tigers hoping to get back in that win column after losing to Hortonville last week, 22-14. They lost to Appleton West here at Beal Stadium the week before, 27 to win in Oshkosh West, 38-31.
Ghosts on the field, huddling underneath the scoreboard on the south end, getting ready for the game tonight. White jerseys, orange numbers. I can't tell if that's a black or a brown pant, and then orange pumpkin-like headgear. And the only reason I say that is I remember years coaching at the junior high here, and teams from Point and Rapids would always call us the Marshfield Pumpkins because of our orange helmets. But that kind of brings me back a little bit watching these teams on the field tonight.
Looking like the Cleveland Browns out there.
Yeah, sort of. Hope they play about as well. Let's see what happens. Kaukauna doesn't again put their heights and weights on the lineup chart, but boy, I noticed they got one kid out there in the middle of their defensive line. Looks like a left defensive tackle, and he must go 6'5" and at least 300 pounds. He's a giant of a man out there, and a couple other good-sized guys in the line as well, but overall their size does not look overwhelming in terms of, well, maybe in comparison to some of the other teams we've seen so far. So, boy, Gene, what a beautiful, beautiful night for football. We've been lucky. I don't know if it means winter's going to come earlier, but we haven't had that 85 to 90 degree weather we've often had early in the football season, and seeing a lot of cramps and things like that on the field, but can't complain about the weather tonight. Beautiful.
Certainly is a great night for football. I'm glad to have you with us for our broadcast of Tiger football this evening. You're listening to Marshfield Tiger football on AM 1450, WDLB Marshfield, and WDLB WOSQ.com. Tom Uthmeyer is our producer this evening with Dale Yukaitis on Dean Delisio at Beal Stadium as Marshfield and Kaukauna meet here in VFA football tonight.
I understand, Gene, that we're going to see the passing game a lot again tonight, especially from Kaukauna, although they're down to a second-string quarterback, still a pretty good football player, I understand.
Well, the Kaukauna Ball Club lost their starting quarterback, a junior, Jonah O'Brien, during the first ball game of the year against Wisconsin Rapids, and a sophomore, Noah Van Asten, stepped in, and he has done quite a job in 2.5 games. Van Asten has thrown for 430 yards, 6 touchdowns, and no interceptions. In the loss against Menominee last week, he passed for 278 yards and 3 touchdowns. So a very talented young man, only a sophomore, but certainly has played quite well in these first 2 weeks of the season.
And I think that was Menominee, Michigan.
Yes, it was.
Correct? I wonder if they're still running the the single wing up there.
I saw the videotape of that game, and indeed they are still running that single wing attack.
Although a lot of teams are running variations of it now these days, they just don't want to call it that.
Well, the Marshfield Tigers will kick off to begin play this evening. Kaukauna has 3 men back in deep safety, led by Cole Hurst, who returned a kickoff 90 yards for a touchdown against Hortonville 2 weeks ago. And so the Tigers have to be aware of him. Mason Van Zeeland also back deep along with Nick Klauboff. Tigers in their black uniforms tonight. They take the field, and they'll be kicking from right to left or south to north here at Beal Stadium to begin play this evening. Crowd gathering a bit late, but still filing in here to take in Tiger football tonight. Good crowd on hand for the ball game between Marshfield and Kaukauna this evening.
Well, let's see if we can get our collision of the game on the books right away as Marshfield covers on this kickoff. Also, we'll be looking for block of the game tonight. Sometimes kind of hard to see from way up here in the press box, but we'll do our best to get a young man or two listed under that block of the game.
And Mason Coffrin getting set to kick the ball off to begin play tonight. Mason gets the whistle. And here is our opening kickoff. Long kick. And grabbed by Hurst near the goal line. Comes up the near sideline across the 20. Gets hit by Johnsrud and pushed back right there by Johnsrud and by Caden Pierce.
Boy, that's a name that we've been saying a lot this year, Gene, both on special teams, but especially on defense. Johnsrud, who started as a quarterback in the early part of last season, has gone back to his original position of linebacker and has been playing very well for the Tigers.
Well, Kaukauna comes out. They'll begin their first possession deep in their own territory, about their own 20-yard line. In fact, they'll spot it right on the 20. And again, sophomore Noah Van Asten at quarterback. They'll have some rather odd formations. 3 receivers bunched on the far side. Tyler Freilich in the backfield. On first down, Freilich gets the handoff, gets tripped up, and gains about 2 yards. It was Johnsrud sneaking in there to make a trip at the line of scrimmage, and Freilich straight ahead for 2 yards to the 22-yard line. 2nd and 8 for Kaukauna at their own 22-yard line. They'll run 2, 3, 4 men on one side of the field at once, these bunch formations. Mason Van Zeeland, tight end on the near side. 3 receivers tight on the far side on 2nd and 8 from the 22. Van Asten looks to pass, floats it far sideline. It's caught, but a quick tackle back along the 15-yard line. Cole Hurst makes the tackle, makes the catch, however, but dropped by several Tiger defenders along that far sideline. I believe that John Hallett over there to help out on that stop, and they'll mark him down at the 19. The 19-yard line, so he lost 1 on that play.
Well, so if any, there is kind of a high, soft snap to the. He had to jump up and get it and lob the shot put out there to the left side.
3rd and 11 from the 19-yard line. Van Alsten back to pass, looking deep along the near sideline. Has a man out there, but it's intercepted at the 40-yard line. Flags go down. However, the pass intercepted along the near sideline by Neil Ott, comes up across the 20 and taken down near the 15-yard line, but 2 flags are down where the ball was caught. And so we could have some interference here.
I bet they're going to call interference. A Marshfield player at a cornerback here impeding the receiver coming down the field. I didn't see if he made a play on the ball or turned his head or not, but I think that's what's going to
they're going to call it the other way.
Oh, my goodness.
They call offensive pass interference. The Kaukauna, no, they changed their mind. They changed their mind. Yes, it is. No, they did. It's going to be on Kaukauna. Offense, it's pass interference against Kaukauna, against Marshfield, rather.
Yeah.
Ott was not the man on the defending the Kaukauna receiver. The ball was overthrown, and Ott made the interception, but they called the other Tiger defender for the interference play. So pass interference against the Tigers.
Several Marshfield coaches 3-4 yards out on the field talking to the officials, and tell you what, the sideline better get back. They're going to get a sideline warning here as well.
So it's 1st and 10 Kaukauna at their own 34. Play just underway with no score. Tigers rush their defense back on the field here. And here's a handoff to a Freilich straight ahead for 4, maybe 5 yards out to the 38 or 39. And stopped right there. Freilich, the tailback, goes for 5. He's rushed for 132 yards and 1 touchdown so far this season. He does not carry the ball much. This primarily is a passing attack. 2nd and 5 at their own 39-yard line. 2 receivers, Giordana and Schwantz on the far side. Hurst goes in motion. Handoff goes to Freilich again, trying to get outside, and he does so with some room to the 45-yard line. Cut down across the 45 at the 46. He'll have the first down on the play. And Austin Schreiner and Travis Altman combined on the stop at the 46. Gain of 7 on that carry, and a first down for Kaukauna.
Well, as you mentioned, Gene, they're running 3 receivers to one side on a lot of these series. Now here they've got 2 and then a wingback on the other side.
Tight end on the far side.
Actually, yeah.
1st and 10 from just shy of the 47. It's Freilich again. He gets hit in the backfield. He'll go down for a loss. Some good penetration there by Noah Preston. Then John Hallett wraps him up back at the 45 for a loss of 2.
Kind of slow developing off-tackle plays. The quarterback having to reach the ball out to a running back all the way out trying to go off tackle. They're trying to outnumber us on the fly, try to get to the edge. And Marshfield, for the most part, is doing a good job against that.
Giordana and Schantz to the near side. 2nd and 12 from the 45. Van Alsten in the pistol, hands off straight ahead. Not much there, and a flag down on the play. Ball comes loose, but after the whistle. But Noah Preston in there again to make the tackle behind the line of scrimmage. It'll be a loss of 1 if the play stands. We have a flag down on the play. Thrown into the pile. And the officials coming to the sideline here It's a holding call on Marshfield. Looks like a Marshfield man got a hand up in the face mask area.
I think illegal, hands up in the face mask inside.
So yardage marked off, the second major penalty against the Tiger defense on this opening drive, and the ball now placed at the 5-yard line.
I've seen some strange hand signals by officials. That was kind of unique. Kind of a holding call and stick his hand up in his face and push on his face.
Not the first time we've seen some signals directed at us at the press box, Dale. 2nd and 2 now for Kaukauna from the Marshfield 45-yard line. Hurst in motion. Freilich straight ahead. He gets tripped up and stopped at the line of scrimmage. Again, good penetration. Howlett, Johnsrud, and Bentley Schwannebeck Osterman on the tackle at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Tiger defense looking pretty good against the run so far, and now puts Kaukauna into a 3rd and 2 at the Marshfield 45-yard line.
We haven't had much of a pass rush so far this year. We need to get to some of these guys, especially a sophomore quarterback back here, and make him a little jittery early.
Marshfield has 1 quarterback sack all year. 3rd and 2 from the 5. Fake handoff. Van Alsten rolls to the near sideline, throws on the run, and overthrows his man at the 30-yard line. Incomplete. An out pattern along the near sideline to Shantz. He was well covered on the play by a Marshfield defender. I believe that was a John Rigel right there on the play, and may have been Nolan Hurdle there as well. Incomplete pass, and a 4th and 2 coming up now for Kaukauna at the Tiger 45-yard line.
Yeah, Marshfield, you hear me talk about it every week. They're always so good on special teams, but haven't been able to get much going for big gainers or a touchdown in the last couple ball games. Let's see if we can get that back going tonight as well.
Brandon Bowman in deep safety inside the 10. Trenton Fossbender to punt from his own 45-yard line. Gets the snap, and here's a low kick to the near sideline. Will bounce to Bowman on the 10, up the near sideline 15 to the 20. Turns the corner at the 25, and a bounce right there. And a hit at the barrier. The officials say play on. Apparently the hit was legal, so Bowman
like that, I always throw the penalty flag, so I don't get it. That
doesn't do much good for you, though.
No, I know. That guy was well into the Tiger bench, but as you say, play on.
Marshfield football on their own 29, 7:57 left. First quarter, no score. Tigers have their first possession. Led out by junior quarterback Ryan Krieger, who's passed for 430 yards and 4 touchdowns with 4 interceptions this year. 2 receivers on the far side, 1 to the near side. And Krieger runs the option to the far side. Pitches back late to Gadel. Andy finds a seam and carries out across the 30 to about the 33-yard line and picks up 4 yards on that run. By the way, we'll have more details on this ball game and other Central Wisconsin ball games on Sports tomorrow morning, 10 a.m. right here on AM 1450 DLB. 2nd and 6 Tigers at their own 33. Bowman and Wilhelm on the far side. Gadel and Miverton on the near side. Krieger back in the pistol, takes the snap, fades the pass, throws near sideline, and throws an interception.
Yep, receiver wasn't looking though.
Blaine Otto with a pass interception, diving catch at the 45-yard line, threw the ball behind Gadel, who never turned for the ball.
Not sure if he could have caught that, but Gadel on a deep slant pattern was probably 12 yards downfield before, I don't think he even realized what happened. He turned around and kind of looked what's going on, and here's a Kaukauna player who caught the ball right off the ground for an interception.
And so Kaukauna gets the ball back, the 5th interception thrown by Krieger this year. 1st and 10 Ghosts at the Marshfield 45-yard line.
Another mistake.
Still no score. 2 receivers far side and some movement in the interior along. Flags down all over the place here. And a motion call here against Kaukauna.
Helps when the center knows the snap count. Everybody else did.
So the ball goes back to the 50-yard line. 1st and 15 for Kaukauna. Stay with us for our halftime stats this evening, a service of the people for whom numbers matter the most. Edward Jones Investments of Marshfield. See Randy Gershman or Brian Kaiser for their sound investment advice.
I think Kaukauna was trying to go on a quick count there, and the lineman, everybody else knew it, but the center was expecting it on 1 apparently, and he never hiked the ball.
1st and 15, Kaukauna from the 50-yard line. Van Asten back in the pistol, takes the snap, throws to the far sideline, caught by Giordana. He'll be wrapped up quickly. A nice open field tackle along the far sideline. And that's John Rigel once again on that play. The catch made by Giordano, but cut down at the 47-yard line, gains only 3 yards on the play. 2nd and 12 for Kaukauna at the Tiger 48-yard line. No score as we approach the halfway mark of the first quarter here at Beal Stadium. Shantz and Mason Van Asten to the near side. 2 receivers on the far side. Now Hurst comes through in motion. Van Asten takes the snap, fades the pass, looking to the near sideline, and has a man open. Van Asten inside the 30-yard line, cuts back inside the 25, and taken down to the 19-yard line. Tackle there by Jared Johnsrud. Mason Van Asten gets the throw from Noah Van Asten. Ball marked down at the 19-yard line. Gain of 29 yards, a first down for Kaukauna inside the Tiger 20-yard line. So Kaukauna now has the ball inside the Rail red zone. Visit rail.jobs to join the winning Rail team. 1st and 10, Kaukauna at the Tiger 19-yard line. Van Asten to pass, runs far side, drops the football, and it's picked up, I believe, by a Kaukauna lineman at the 24-yard line as Van Asten tried to circle around a Tiger defensive lineman charging on the play. I think it was Bentley Schwannebeck-Osterman. He dropped the ball, but a lineman fell on the ball back of the 24. It is a loss of 5 yards on the play. 2nd and 15, Kaukauna at the Tiger 24-yard line. Kaukauna in scoring range after the first Marshfield turnover of the night. Shantz to the near side. Van Zeelen and Hurst on the far side. And Van Asten stands at the pistol once again, takes the snap and runs a quarterback draw straight ahead. Gets tripped up after a gain of about 5. Again, Bentley Schwannebeck-Osterman makes the tackle at the 21-yard line. That play picks up 3. 3 yards on the play. And now Kaukauna faced with 3rd and about 12 at the Tiger.
Well, the 28-yard pass that Van Alstine connected on was a slow drag pass about 12 yards over the middle. Again, a receiver wide open.
Van Asten and Shantz on the far side on 3rd and 12. Hurst goes in motion. Van Asten under center, rolls to the far sideline, stops, and throws along the far sideline. Well past Hurst, incomplete. A heavy rush on that play by a Tiger defensive line. That was Alex Steins in there to force a bad throw by Van Asten. Tigers getting some pass rush tonight.
Yeah, I think this is a quarterback. Well, he's completed a pass, a 28-yard pass, so it's far be it from me to say, but he doesn't throw the ball real strong. It's kind of soft and kind of wobbly, and looks a little jittery with the pass rush. I think this is the kind of guy that might throw one up for grabs once in a while.
Kaukauna now faced with 4th and 12 for the Tiger 19. Tigers need to stop. 2 receivers on the near. Hurst goes in motion. And a flag down at the snap. We may have a timeout. We do. Timeout Kaukauna. Kaukauna will use its first timeout with 4:56 remaining in the first quarter. Our score is Marshfield 0, Kaukauna 0. Back to Beal Stadium in just a moment.
In these days of fast-paced lives and fast-talking salespeople, it's nice to know you can still count on your local Dish-authorized retailer, Selk Electronics, with folks right here in your neighborhood to tell you the honest truth. Dish simply costs less for the very same channels for your home or your business. Dish and Selk Electronics have it at a reasonable price with old-fashioned service. Believe it. Call Selk Electronics at 715-683-2558 today and experience an expert who's happy to answer all your questions, whatever they may be. Restrictions apply. Call for details.
All right, the Kaukauna Ball Club, 4th and 12 for the Marshfield 20-yard line as play resumes. Kaukauna in scoring range after a pass interception. The Tigers trying to halt this drive right here. Tiger defense back on the field. We mentioned earlier, Marshfield only has 1 quarterback sack this year, that by John Howlett a couple of weeks ago.
And so far has only run 1 offensive play in this ball game with only 4:56 left in the first quarter.
Now Van Asten under center on 4th and 12 for the Tiger 19-yard line. 3 receivers on the far side. Van Asten fakes the handoff, rolls to the far sideline, stops and throws on the run, and the ball is incomplete. Underthrew Giordano, and now a flag down at the 10-yard line. Flag down as well. Nolan Hurdle cut in front of Giordano, knocked the ball down, and the officials have seen something. Pass interference on Marshfield. The Tigers suffered their 3rd major defensive penalty this quarter, and that'll keep the Kaukauna drive alive.
I know my official friends out there aren't going to be happy with me, but that was a bad call. Bad call. Ball thrown on the ground. Marshfield player and the Kaukauna player both going for the football. Yes, there was contact. They were both trying for the ball. And that flag came out very, very late from the Kaukauna sideline. Wow.
But it's still 4th down. 4th and about 2 for Kaukauna at the Tiger 11. Van Asten back in the pistol. Hands off to Freilich. He's sitting in the backfield. He won't get there. He was mauled by Schwanebeck Osterman, Howlett, and Justin Stanek. The Tigers make a big defensive stand. They'll take over on downs despite that pass interference call. Big play by the Tiger defense, and Marshfield takes over on their own 15-yard line. So the Tiger defense makes a stand there. 1st and 10 Marshfield at their own 15. 4:45 remaining in the first quarter. No score. And the Marshfield offense back on the field. Ryan Krieger at quarterback. Isaiah Byrol, the fullback, next to him. Double wing formation. Gadel goes in motion. Byrol strayed ahead for a few yards, powers his way out, still on his feet, and backpedals across the 20 to maybe the 21-yard line. A real tough inside run for Isaiah Byrol, who's rushed for 44 yards this season.
Byrol not only had to run over some Kaukauna players, but he ran into Bowman coming across from the opposite wing, also banged into him and was stopped at the line of scrimmage before getting the plus yardage. Nice run.
6 yards, 2nd and 4 from the 21. Here's Bowman bouncing it outside, trying to turn the corner, and does have some room to the 25 and stumbles out across the 30-yard. Out of bounds at the 33. Tough run for Brant Bowman. Brant Bowman, and he'll gain about 11 on that play and give Marshfield the first down. Tiger first down on their own 33-yard line. No score, 4:10 remaining in the opening quarter here at Beal Stadium.
Marshfield has had some difficulty the last 2 ball games getting to the outside against the Oshkosh West team and against Hortonville, but a nice run to the outside there by Bowman.
Now Krieger back in the pistol. Gadel goes in motion, gets an inside handoff, trying to get outside, cuts it back upfield across the 35 to the 38. And Gadel picks up about 5 on that run.
Nice patient run that time by Andy, kind of picking his way through defenders and blockers who opened up a little bit of a seam. It wasn't much there for Gadel, but he was patient and got what he could and got almost 6.
Yeah, 2nd and 4 for the Tigers, just shy of their own 39-yard line. Double slot once again. Gadel goes in motion. Straight ahead, Byrol looking for a hole. Not much there. He'll fight his way to the 40, maybe the 41, but still shy of the first down by about 3 yards.
Yeah, we had one of our offensive linemen fall down on the play and failed to make a block. And therefore that play goes, well, actually gained a yard. I'm not sure how, but at least one positive yards.
Tigers want to convert here. 3rd and 3 for Marshfield at their own 41-yard line. Meverton near side, Wilhelm on the far side. Gadel and Bowman the wings. Byrol in the backfield next to Krieger. Bowman comes in motion. He gets the handoff, bounces outside, trying to turn the corner. Not much there, but he'll be pushed out of bounds at the 42-yard line. Only gains 1 on the play. Gain of 1 for Brant Bowman, and leaves Marshfield with a 4th down, 4th and 2 at their own 42-yard line. See what Coach Gadel wants to do here. Not changing teams. Looks like he may go for it. Here comes Jared Johnsrud, and now the Tigers are changing teams. 4th and 2 Marshfield at their own 42-yard line. And Ryan Krieger back in punt formation. Kaukauna will send Cole Hurst back deep in single safety inside his own 25-yard line. Krieger set to accept the snap, gets a high snap, pulls it in, and kicks away a high floater. And Hurst calls for a fair catch back at his own 20-yard line.
42-yard punt.
Good job by Krieger. Was averaging 36.5 per kick.
Had some nice height on his kicks too this year.
Kaukauna ball on their own 20-yard line. We have 2:54 remaining in the first quarter. Still no score here at Beal Stadium. Marshfield and Kaukauna in VFA football tonight. Kaukauna offense again, led out by sophomore quarterback Noah Van Asten. Trevor Verhagen coming out wide to the near side. He's not caught a ball yet this year. Freilich in the backfield. He'll get the handoff and slides across the 20 to the 25-yard line to the 30. Pulled down from behind around the 31. He'll have the first down with that run.
Good spinning run there. Tigers without one of their best defensive or best all-round football players tonight, Quentin Alexander, who's nursing a leg or a knee injury of some sort.
Gains 11 on the play. First and 10, Kaukauna at their own 31. Verhagen to the near side, wide out far side as well. Freilich in the backfield behind Van Asten. And Freilich again, he's going to get hit by Howlett and pulled down behind the line of scrimmage. Good penetration by John Howlett. And Freilich down back around the 25-yard line. Another loss on a running play for Kaukauna. They've had several of those tonight. That's going to lose 5 yards on that play.
Tiger player injured.
Is John Howlett, who appears to be limping, now goes back down to one knee. Take a moment to remind you once again about our car of the game from Gross Motors of Marshfield, the new 2017 Buick Enclave. This premium group all-wheel drive Enclave is loaded with great features: the moonroof, navigation system, leather heated seats, heated steering wheel, and Bluetooth, just a few features. And now at a discount of more than $7,900. That's right, you can save over $7,900 on this vehicle. See it here outside of Beal Stadium, or check it out tomorrow on the lot at Gross Auto on North Central Avenue in Marshfield. 2nd and 16 for Kaukauna, back at their own 26-yard line. Wide out to the near side. Van Asten fakes the handoff, rolls the near sideline, being pressured. Now throws on the run, incomplete. The receiver fell down. Giordana to the near sideline, fell down on the play and got back up and kicked. Incomplete pass, and a 3rd and 16 for Kaukauna at their own 26-yard line. Tiger defense hanging in there pretty well so far tonight. Taylor Shantz back in to play a receiver spot for Kaukauna as Giordana leaves. Ghost now lined up, and they'll bunch 2 receivers out on the far side. Van Asten back in the pistol on 3rd and 16. Hurst goes in motion. Van Asten drops back to pass, throws along the far sideline, but well over everybody's head, incomplete. Shantz doing a deep sideline pattern, well covered on the play by Ott and by Tyson. And Van Asten threw the ball past everybody, incomplete. It's 4th and long for Kaukauna. Another stand there by the Tiger defense, and the Tigers will send Brant Bowman back in deep safety.
Well, let's see if the Tigers can turn field position around here. They shot themselves in the foot early in the first quarter. Poor position.
Trenton Fossbender punting once again for Kaukauna from his inside his own 15-yard line. Brings in the snap. Kick is away, a short kick to the near sideline, bouncing at the 50 to Bowman at the 40, but he drops the ball, goes back, picks it back up at the 35, it gets snowed under at the 30.
Well.
Grant trying to make a play, but fumbled the bouncing ball, did recover it, but he'll lose lots of yardage on that exchange, and Marshfield takes over at their own 30-yard line. No score with 1:39 remaining in the first quarter here at Beal Stadium. Marshfield and Kaukauna High School football this evening, a service of Shriners Plumbing and Heating of Marshfield, Quality Roofing of Marshfield, and Security Health Plan. Tiger offense on the field, 1st and 10 Marshfield at their own 30-yard line. Ryan Krieger at quarterback, Isaiah Byro as the fullback, trying to find the proper football. Each team gets to pick which football they'd like to use, and Marshfield looking for the football that they want along the sidelines. And Coach Gadel and Coach Sadowska running around looking for that Tiger football. And looks like we finally found it. Beautiful evening for football here in central Wisconsin, and hope you're enjoying the evening. And glad to have you with us tonight here on WDLB. 1st and 10 Tigers at their own 30-yard line. Krieger back in the pistol. Takes the snap, runs to the far side. Looks like this might be a straight running play. Turns the corner, 35-40 up the far sideline. Cuts back into midfield and stumbles inside the 50-yard line. A big gainer on a design run by Ryan Krieger. He'll get
just a quarterback power sweep with Three receivers blocking on one side, and as Krieger tried to cut back towards the middle of the field, stumbled. There was a defender right there in his face, though. I'm not sure if he'd have got much more anyway.
Gain of 24 for Ryan Krieger. 1st and 10 Tigers at the Kaukauna 46-yard line. Double slot formation. Bowman comes in motion. He gets a pitch coming to the near sideline. Turns the corner, cuts it back up at the 45, and running out of bounds about the 43-yard line. 3 yards for Bowman on that play. Krieger, by the way, has rushed for 26 yards this year. And he picked up 24 on that last carry. 3 yards for Bowman to the 43-yard line. 2nd and 7 for the Tigers. Double slot formation once again. Bowman comes in motion and some movement within the offensive and defensive lines. Somebody jumping a count early. It'll be a Kaukauna player. And a foul against the Gray Ghosts. Moves the ball to the Kaukauna 38. It will be 2nd and 2. Krieger back in the pistol again. Straight ahead, Byrell. First down and more to the secondary inside the 35 to near the 30-yard line. Isaiah Byrell carries to about the 31-yard line. Picks up 7 on that carry and gives Marshfield a first down. 1:05 remaining. First quarter, no score, but the Tigers moving the ball pretty effectively. Tigers will huddle here. Put the play in quickly. Wilhelm and Meverden the wideouts. Gadel and Bowman the wings. Byrell in the backfield next to Krieger. Gadel goes through in motion, and Krieger looking for a quick pass, throws to Meverden, complete at the 25, cuts back inside and stops. Quick pass to Isaac Meverden, his 8th catch of the year, and that gained 6 yards to the Kaukauna 25-yard line. 2nd and 4 for the Tigers. Final 30 seconds of the first quarter here at Beal Stadium.
Marshfield's first pass completion.
Yeah. Gadel goes in motion, gets the handoff on the sweep, has a big hole, cuts inside to the 25-yard line, to the 20 to about the 18. I think that play was designed, Dale, to go outside. Then Andy turned and saw there was a big hole to the inside, went straight ahead, and he'll gain about 7 yards on that play.
Well, I've looked at Bowman also on a play over here who took the play wide and had a lot of blocking to the inside, and it's easy for us to say, I guess, up here, but both plays could have gained more yardage.
Ball's at the 18, 1st and 10. Byrell straight ahead once again to the 15. Still on his feet, tries a second effort to the 14-yard line. And cut there, Byrell for 4 more. Straight ahead, and that play will end the first quarter of football here at Beal Stadium in Marshfield. Our score after one period, the Marshfield Tigers nothing, Kaukauna nothing. Come back with a second quarter following these messages.
It's a brighter birthday when it's filled with flowers from Hefco's. Hi, this is Liz reminding you to send the gift that makes any day brighter, especially birthdays. Order today to deliver a floral celebration and
All right, guys, Jason Zaleski Sports Show here. We have reached the end of the first quarter, and the score is 0-0, Marshfield and Kaukauna. Number 22, Freilich for Kaukauna. As we called out before the game, he is leading the way for the Galloping Ghosts. He has 9 carries, 18 yards, and number 15 for Kaukauna, quarterback Van Elston. He is 3 for 7 so far in this first quarter. For Marshfield stats, Ryan Krieger 1 for 2. Just saw that last and first completion to Isaac Meverden just a couple minutes ago. Running wise, Byrell, number 26, Marshfield Byrell, he's got 4 attempts, and we are looking at 18 yards. Brant Bowman, 3 attempts, 18 yards, and Andy Gadel, 3 attempts and 11 yards, guys. It is still 0-0 here at Beal Stadium in Marshfield. Marshfield 0, Kaukauna 0.
After one quarter, Tigers moving from north to south or left to right here at Beal Stadium. Krieger in the pistol, Byrell next to him, double wing on 2nd and 6 rather. Krieger takes the snap. It's a counter to Bowman, gets hit at the line and falls forward for about a yard. One of the Kaukauna defensive linemen staying home on that play, ran right into Bowman at the 13-yard line. So Bowman gains 1 on the play.
Tigers running that counter that goes just inside of the tackle, and one of the Tiger defensive linemen missed his man and fell down in the hole. Otherwise, the play was blocked pretty well.
3rd and 6 Tigers at the Kaukauna 13-yard line. Krieger in the pistol. Bowman goes in motion, and a flag down at the snap.
Procedure.
Call against Marshfield.
Movement on the line of scrimmage.
Tigers victimized by some penalties tonight. Boy, that first drive by Kaukauna featured 3 Marshfield defensive penalties.
Yeah, fortunately the defense was only able to hold strong and stop Kaukauna, but we were doing everything we could there for a while to give Kaukauna a score.
Now the ball is back at the 18-yard line. It's 3rd and 11 for the Tigers. See if Ryan Krieger throws. Ryan so far tonight 1 of 2 for 6 yards with a pass interception. Have not had to throw the ball much. The running game has been very good, but he may throw here. Wilhelm to the near side. Meverton far side on 3rd and 11. Krieger back to pass football with time. Lobs near side to Byro on a screen pass. He's at the 15, the 10 to the 5-yard line and in the end zone for the touchdown. Quick pass to the near sideline, and Isaiah Byro cutting through defenders for the score. An 8-play, 70-yard scoring drive for the Tigers, and Marshfield on top, 6-0.
Well set up screen play by the Tigers. Toss out here to Byro, and he has some nice blocking out in front of him on this right side.
Tigers now in their extra point configuration. Krieger takes the snap, runs to the near sideline, stops and throws in the end zone and overthrows his receiver, Mitch Wilhelm, at the back line, incomplete. But the Tigers on the scoreboard first tonight with 10:47 remaining in the second quarter. Our score is Marshfield 6, Kaukauna nothing. Back to Beale Stadium and more football in just a moment.
Whether the goal is to heat a room, entertain guests, or simply unwind and let the imagination run wild, nothing gives fire more style than a Heat and Glow fireplace. With a long-standing reputation for innovation and design, Heat and Glow offers the broadest spectrum of hearth products available today. Find the perfect fireplace stove or insert to complement your distinct style at fireplaces.com.
See the entire line of Heat and Glow options today at House of Heating, North Central Avenue in Marshfield.
Isaiah Byro on that touchdown catch, his 5th catch of the year, first for a score, and Ryan Krieger's 5th touchdown pass this year. And Marshfield has the lead 6-0 early in the second quarter.
Second score in a high school football game is the one that seems to have much to do with the outcome of the game. I'll explain in a bit.
Mason Coffrin kicking off. 3 men back deep for Kaukauna at the south end zone. Long end over end kick. And Hurst back at the 3-yard line.
Beautiful
to the
kick.
10, 15. Up the far sideline. Has some room across the 30, 35, and out of bounds. And a nice return by Cole Hurst of Kaukauna. He brings the ball across the 35 to about the 38-yard line. Dale, go ahead.
Quickly, in fact, they're going to mark him way up the field here, Gene.
Oh, yeah, they are. Well,
almost the 45-yard line. The second score in a football game, meaning the second score being that extra point, the second score possibly being a second score for the Tigers that puts them up 12, or now the second score possibly with a first score for Kaukauna makes it a 6-6 ball game. The second score is so important.
1st and 10 Kaukauna from their own 37. Freilich gets the call off the right side of the 40, then stood up there, falls forward to the 41. First hit by Nolan Hurdle. Gain of 4 for Freilich.
Very nice tackle. Very nice form. Tackled right around the thigh pads by Hurdle.
We saw a lot of missed tackles last week, Dale, so you can bet they worked on that a lot in practice this week. 2nd and 6 coming up now for Kaukauna at their own 41-yard line. Mason Van Asten to the near side. Shantz on the far side. Freilich in the backfield. Gets the handoff straight ahead to about the 44. They get shoved back there. Neil Ott there pushing him back. Justin Stanek there as well. Freilich out to the 44.
Hullett in on the play as well.
And
back in the ball game.
Yep. Okay, good to see him back there.
We mentioned earlier that he came off with a limp, but by the time he got to the sideline, he seemed to be okay. Maybe he just got kicked in the shin or something.
Now a 3rd and 2 for Kaukauna, just shy of their own 45-yard line. Hurst comes in motion. Van Asten fakes the handoff, rolls to the near sideline, stops, throws on the run, and the ball's dropped by Shantz at the 45. Had to come back for the ball, and he had John Reigel on his hip. Ball popped out of his hands, incomplete, Sets up a 4th and 2 for Kaukauna at their own 45-yard line.
It's a play by Rigel. He got his hand in between the arms, just like you teach, of that receiver. And yes, Gene, as you mentioned, the ball was in the arms of the receiver, but Rigel managed to get his hand in there and pop it out. Good contact right at the time the ball got there.
Trenton Fossbender averaging 35.5 yards per punt on to kick on 4th and 2 from the 45-yard line. High snap, pulls it in with one hand, now runs to the near side. It's a fake. He comes to 45. A flag goes down. Fossbender across midfield takes a hard hit in Marshfield territory. That will be a first down on the fake punt if the play stands, but there's a flag down on the play. Kaukauna running a fake punt, gaining 7 yards. Holding against Kaukauna. And that run will come back. Fake punt will come back. And so Kaukauna faking the punt from their own 45, ran for 7 to give them a first down, but that run will come back due to a holding call on the Galloping Ghosts.
Well, they might want to measure this.
Well, he carried across the 50. The flag is at the 47, but he carried it across the 50.
Okay, I guess see what you're saying, right.
And the ball now coming back from the 47 to the 37. So it's now going to be 4th and about 10. So we anticipate Fassbender will punt now. And Brant Bowman back in deep safety. Fossbender to kick from his own 25-yard line. Gets a good snap. And the kick away, a very fine kick. Bowman calls for a fair catch and makes it inside the 30-yard line, back at the 28. Marshfield football on their own 28-yard line. 9:03 remaining in the first half. Marshfield leads this contest 6-0. By the way, we do have a couple of high school football games in central Wisconsin tomorrow. Rib Lake Prentice plays a non-conference game with Lake Country Lutheran at a neutral site in Wautoma tomorrow at 1 p.m. And in 8-man football tomorrow, Phillips is at Mercer. Some football action tomorrow.
You ever seen an 8-man football game?
No, I have not seen that.
Me neither.
I've seen a couple of 2-man games, but not 8-man. 1st and 10 for Marshfield at their own 28-yard line. Krieger in the pistol here. Tigers have run the ball very well tonight. On first down, Ryan runs to the near side, pitches back late, and no place for Gadel to go. He'll be stopped in the backfield. Lose about 2 yards on that block.
Those 2-man football games,
yep.
You and Arnie used to
That's
square
right.
off
That's
once
right.
in a while near the coffee pot.
Yeah,
and
that's right.
Arnie played dirty. He used to grab ears and jump on people's backs and throw coffee, and he just never played fair.
Got a call from.
How's he doing?
Doing well. He's with the Whitewater football team, going up to Moorhead for a ball game this weekend. They stopped at the new facility in Hudson for practice. 2nd and 12, Tigers of the 26. And a counter play to Bowman. Has a seam across the 30, the 40-yard line to the near sideline, and he could go at the 50. The Kaukauna 40 ridden out of bounds at the 35-yard line. Brant Bowman turning on the Jets, carries inside the 35-yard line to give Marshfield the first down. Bowman stopped around the 33. A gain of 41 on that carry. 1st and 10 Tigers at the Kaukauna 33, 8:18 remaining. First half, Tigers on top 6-0. Duncan Swanson the near side, handoff, Byrell flag down. Byrell straight ahead inside the 30, the 29, but a flag down on the play.
Flag thrown by the umpire, which is the man right behind the line of scrimmage. That's usually holding or a face mask.
And it will be a holding call on Marshfield. Yeah, Arnie working on the UW Whitewater broadcast, and they're playing at Concordia of Moorhead, Minnesota this weekend on Saturday. They bust up there today, but stopped at the new football facility in Hudson, where they have a nice new stadium, artificial turf, and they had a workout at Hudson High School today. Ball back at the 40-yard line now, still first down, but 1st and 17 for the Tigers. Colin Fravor to the far side. Swanson on the near side. Gadel comes in motion, and a defensive lineman jumps across the neutral zone. Offside on Kaukauna. Tigers get 5 yards back. Ball now placed on the 35 and 1st and 12. Kaukauna changing defensive personnel.
He's the guy that usually jumps off to is the guy right over the football on defense.
Yep.
The quarterback gets him with that extra hut sound in there, or hike, whatever they call it.
Favorite and Swanson, the wideouts. Caden Pearson, the ball game at running back. There's a pass across the middle to Gato. Makes a nice one-handed catch, then drops the ball. Nice effort by Andy. Had to go reach back to grab the football and just could not hold it. Incomplete pass.
I'm glad Krieger threw it where he did. If he'd thrown it more to the inside, one of those linebackers in that 4-4 defense for Kaukauna was dropping right back in front of Gadel.
Connor Berry had to leave for a moment or two.
Just an equipment issue.
Yep. And he's back in the ball game. 2nd and 12 Tigers at the Kaukauna 35-yard line. Bowman goes in motion. Gets the handoff on the jet sweep.
Block.
Can't get outside. Turns back to the inside and gets stopped back at the 37.
Well, he had some nice blocking to the inside, but that time the internal pursuit leaked through and just off our left tackle and got through to make the stop.
So Brandstop back at the 38. And now 3rd and 15 for the Tigers. See if Krieger throws here. Tigers signaling the plays.
If you haven't been to a Tiger game this year, they come up to the line of scrimmage and line up. They're all wearing wristbands. And then they look at the coaches on the sidelines who are wig-wagging signals. Then they look at their wristband, and then they run the play.
Krieger back in the pistol on 3rd and long. Takes the snap. Fades the pass with time. Steps up. Starts to run to the near sideline. Being pursued. Now stops and runs himself. Has no place to go. And out of bounds near the 35-yard line. He will pick up 3 on that run. That leaves Marshfield with a 4th and 12.
The receivers downfield, when a quarterback sprints out like that, have to do a little better job of getting out of their pattern, either coming back along the sidelines to the football or turning up the field towards the goal line, rather than just continuing to run the same pattern that didn't have them open in the first place.
Looks like Marshfield will go for it on 4th and 12 at the Kaukauna 35. Krieger takes a low snap. Back to pass, being rushed, gets away. Now spins the near sideline. Will take off and throw down the near sideline. The ball in the air, caught in the end zone for the touchdown by Swanson. A Kaukauna defensive back leaped in front of Swanson. He missed it and came right down in Duncan Swanson's arms for a 35-yard touchdown pass, and Marshfield leads 12-0.
Well, that looked like a Rogers Hail Mary pass. He got out here and kind of scrambled around. He was close to being over the line of scrimmage. Threw it up, basically threw it up for grabs, and like you said, the Kaukauna defender jumped a little too early, and it landed right in the hands of the Tiger player. And then I was kind of laughing at, he was standing about the 6-inch line, and he realized that he kind of bunny hopped into the end zone for the touchdown.
First catch of the year for Duncan Swanson is a touchdown catch, 35-yarder. Ryan Krieger with 2 touchdown passes tonight, now 6 for the year. PAT try on the way by Coffrin. It is up and it is good. And the Tigers with their second score of the second quarter. We have 6:27 remaining before halftime. Our score now, Marshfield 13, Kaukauna nothing. Back to Beale Stadium and more football following this message.
The Baltus Company has been a proud part of the Marshfield community for 90 years. Baltus wants to give back to the community and has designated School Pride Pumps at its store on Central Avenue next to Walgreens. Gas up at the Tigers or Columbus Don's Pride Pumps, and the Baltus Company will donate 2 cents per gallon to the Marshfield School District or Columbus Catholic Schools. A great way to help the school systems and the students in the Marshfield area. Gas up today at either the Columbus Don's or Tigers Pride Pump. Making a difference.
Tigers convert on 4th and 12 with a 35-yard touchdown pass from Krieger to Duncan Swanson. Marshfield now on top 13-0. And Mason Coffrin will kick it off for the Tigers. Kicking from north to south here at Beale Stadium. Here's a long line drive kick to Hurst back on the 4. Straight ahead to the 15-yard line. The 20 has a seam across the 25, but tripped up nicely by Schwannebeck Osterman and Johnsrud shy of the 25-yard line. By the way, at halftime, Kurt Nelson joins us to talk about baseball in Kansas City, some of the ballparks that they've played in over the years. That's at halftime tonight. 1st and 10 for Kaukauna. They have the football on their own 24-yard line. Tigers on top 13-0, halfway through the second quarter. Sophomore Noah Van Asten, the quarterback, under center on this play. On first down, he hands off to Freilich, straight ahead. Not much there. Howlett will grab him, along with Stanek, for a short gain. Tiger defense against the rush has been quite stout tonight.
Well, Kaukauna is certainly not getting off the ball. They're being pushed back. Marshfield's winning the battle, certainly up front on the line of scrimmage as far as the Tiger defense. And Marshfield's going wide a lot on offense, also getting some good blocking. But that pretty stout defense by Steins and company up the middle. 2nd and 10,
Kaukauna at their own 24-yard line. Van Asten in the pistol, takes the snap, passing to the near sideline, incomplete. As the receiver, Mason Van Asten, turned inside on a sideline route.
Well, I think what you're seeing there a little too, once again, there was a pretty good push by the Tiger defensive line, and then Noah Van Alstine, the quarterback, I think he got rid of it awful fast.
Third down now for Kaukauna, 3rd and 10 at their own 24. NFL football coming your way Sunday here on WDLB, the Chicago Bears and Atlanta. That broadcast Sunday, 11:30 right here on AM 1450 WDLB. 3rd and 10 for Kaukauna at their own 24-yard line. 2 receivers on the far side. Van Asten back in the pistol once again. Takes the snap, looks to pass the football, has time, now throws far side. The ball caught at the 35-yard line, close to the first down marker. Shantz had to go high, grabbed it, came down right there, makes the catch for the first down. The 16th catch this year for Taylor Shantz, and a pickup of about 11 yards on that pass play.
Went up high to get it too in traffic. Pretty courageous when you know there's a lot of people flying at you in the middle of the field.
1st and 10, Kaukauna at their own 35. Tigers on top, 13-0. Van Asten hands off to Freilich again, straight ahead. Oh, he takes a big hit. There's a big collision.
Yep.
Just shy of the 40-yard line. I believe that was Neil Ott. Several Tigers on that stop. I think it was Neil made the first hit at the 39-yard line. Pickup of 4 on the play. 2nd and 6 coming up for Kaukauna, just shy of their own 40-yard line. Giordana on the near side. Wide out far side as well. Van Asten back in the pistol. Freilich behind him. Van Asten back to pass, being rushed now. He gets hit, spins away, still on his feet, throws on the far sideline, and knocked away, incomplete. Skylar Tyson knocking the ball away from Shantz at the 42-yard line. Almost had a pass interception on that play.
Yeah, Van Alstine running for his life again, that time out to the right, and kind of sidearm tossed the ball and behind the
Tigers only have 2 interceptions this year. Oh no, they only have 1. That by Brant Bowman to end that Oshkosh West game.
Yep.
3rd and 6 for Kaukauna, just shy of their own 40-yard line. Van Asten takes the snap, back to pass, being rushed, throws the near sideline. Ball's knocked away, incomplete. Fine defensive play by Bentley Schwanebeck-Osterman. He was one-on-one with Hurst on the near sideline, got the arm up, knocked that ball down, incomplete. Seen some nice pass defensive plays by the Tigers tonight. And now 4th and 6 for Kaukauna at their own 40-yard line. Looks like we'll see a Kaukauna punt once again.
Taking Van Alstine too long to get the ball to his receivers. That's helping the defenders from Marshfield read his eyes, but nevertheless, they're making some nice plays on the ball.
Trenton Fossbender on to punt once again. Brant Bowman back in deep safety. Good snap. There's a line drive kick. Bowman calls for a quick fair catch at the 31. Marshfield football on their own 31. Now 4:39 remaining before halftime, and Marshfield leads 13-0.
Only a 29-yard punt, line drive punt that time.
Tiger football tonight on WDLB, a service of Felker Brothers Corporation of Marshfield, manufacturers of stainless steel products, and they support all youth sports and activities. Participation in high school sports builds character and teamwork, and Felker Brothers of Marshfield supports the youth of central Wisconsin.
Kind of hard to figure this Kaukauna team. They beat Hortonville in their first game of the season, then got blown out by Wisconsin Rapids by 40 points, so it's kind of hard to know which team's going to be on the field, I guess.
1st and 10 Tigers from their own 31. Krieger will pass quickly near side to Gadel, up the near side. under the 35-yard line and stop right there. Had 3 receivers out to the near sideline, and Gadel looking for some blocks. Not much out there, but he does gain 4 on the play. Andy Gadel on the catch, his 9th of the year. 2nd and 6 Tigers at their own 35-yard line. Tigers do have all 3 timeouts remaining before halftime. 4:15 left in the second quarter. Gadel limping off the field somewhat. Caden Pierce on to replace him. 2nd and 6 Tigers at their own 35. Krieger back in the pistol. Bowman goes in motion. Krieger drops the snap, looks for some place to go, gets snowed under back at the 28.
Yeah, good decision by Krieger. The ball was low, it was towards his left foot. He put his hands down to try to grab it, and then as he tried to corral it, it rolled away from him a little bit, so he just decided to pick up the ball and try to run with it rather than throw the ball.
And Marshfield now looking at 3rd and 15 back at their own 28-yard line.
Yeah, another one of those situations, though, with penalty or this time a bad snap, that's kind of, despite the fact they're winning, slowed them down in this ball game.
Marshfield will take a timeout, their first of the first half. We have 3:32 remaining in the second quarter. Our score is Marshfield 13, Kaukauna nothing. And more football from Beal Stadium in just a moment.
An excellent team is built from the ground up. It starts with a solid foundation, support among its members, and the development of a winning tradition. If you're planning to build or remodel, think of the tradition offered at Trudeau Construction of Marshfield. They handle everything from new homes to additions, remodeling projects, kitchens and baths, cabinets, wood floors, decks, and gazebos. Have a project in mind? Plan it from the ground up by dialing 387-2239 for Trudeau Construction, Marshfield.
Marshfield Tigers playing very good football tonight. They lead by 13 late in the second quarter. Marshfield faced with a 3rd and about 14 here at their own 28-yard line. Tigers using their first timeout of the first half. Now their offense back on the field. They converted 4th and 12 on their last possession with a 35-yard touchdown pass to Duncan Swanson. See what they do here on 3rd and 12. Krieger stands in the pistol. Swanson wide near side. Wide out far side as well. And here's a pitch play to Caden Pierce coming to the near sideline. To the 30-yard line. 35 out of bounds around the 38. Tough run by Caden Pierce. Has not seen many chances to carry the ball. He has rushed for 4 yards so far this year, but about doubles that total as he carries to the 39, picks up 11, but still about 3 yards shy of the first down marker.
Looks like Pierce has some wheels. Pretty quick around the corner. See Andy Gadel down here getting his left ankle retaped.
Kaukauna will call a timeout here. The Tigers lined on a play, and Kaukauna may have been in a situation here, so they were not in the proper defense, so they'll take a timeout. Their second timeout of the first half. 3:26 remaining before halftime, and our score now is Marshfield 13 and Kaukauna nothing. Our coverage of Marshfield Tiger football tonight here on WDLB. A service last play, and Kaukauna then quickly called timeout because they had their punt return team on the field. Tigers now up, and apparently they will go for it. 4th and 3 Tigers at their own 39. Tigers will go for it here from their own territory. Krieger in the pistol. Bowman goes in motion. Now goes back to his first spot. Maybe trying to draw off the Kaukauna defensive line. Again, Bowman goes in motion. And now goes back to his spot. Still no snap. And now Marshall will take a timeout. Tigers trying to draw Kaukauna offside. Could not do so. And so the Tigers use their second timeout of the first half. Again, we have 3:26 remaining in the second quarter. Our score is Marshfield 13 and Kaukauna nothing. Back to Beal Stadium in just a moment.
Paget Equipment Company, a division of JBL International, specializing in stainless steel fabrication worldwide, and a proud backer of Marshfield area youth programs and activities. The folks at Paget Equipment support healthy competition. It helps prepare youth for life, teaching them important concepts like teamwork and fair play. Important in athletics, important in business, important in life. Paget Equipment, a strong backer of the youth of Marshfield, urging you to get involved with school-related activities.
Ryan Krieger now back in punt formation on 4th and 3, takes the snap and kicks it away. A very, very good kick, and Hurst all the way back. Fair catch called for back at the 16-yard line.
45.
45-yard punt by Ryan Krieger. And Kaukauna football on their own 16. Marshfield on top, 13-0 with 3:19 remaining in the second quarter. Kaukauna has only one timeout remaining in this first half. Marshfield defense has been stellar so far tonight, especially in some situations with their backs to the wall because of some defensive penalties.
Well, so far they've been controlling the line of scrimmage and anything interior-wise, and Van Alstyne, of course, throwing the ball several times tonight, but only completed a couple of them, so pretty effective defense.
1st and 10, Kaukauna from their own 16. Van Alstyne back to pass, lobs far sideline, incomplete. Looking for Shantz on the far sideline. Skylar Thyssen right there in pass coverage. Incomplete pass. 2nd and 10, Kaukauna at their own 16-yard line.
Van Alstyne is 3 for 12 tonight for 43 yards. He's been off target a lot. Of course, all it takes is one to be on target, and you're off to the races. But so far, he looks a little inexperienced, sophomore quarterback.
Threw for 278 last week, but not having that success tonight. 2nd and 10, Kaukauna from their own 16. Van Alstyne again to pass, rolling far side, dumps it off, incomplete. Low throw, looking for Mason Van Alstyne on the far sideline, and some heavy pressure by the Tiger defensive line, led by Alex Steins, and Van Alstyne threw the ball into the ground, incomplete.
Yeah, he didn't have much choice but to get rid of that, as Steins once again was right in his face. He's not getting a lot of time to throw on any of the drop back passes. Hasn't been super accurate so far on the rollouts.
Tigers have not had a sack yet tonight, but a lot of defensive pressure on the Kaukauna quarterback.
Yeah, Van Alstyne's been getting rid of it before the sack.
Here's a 3rd and 10 for Kaukauna at their own 16-yard line. 2 receivers on the far side. Van Alstyne will keep the ball himself. Now turns the ball back upfield. No place to go, and stopped at the 19-yard line. Hit there by John Howlett. And looks like Travis Altman there as well. Van Alstyne gains 2, maybe 3 on that run to the 19-yard line. 3 and out for Kaukauna. It's 4th and 7 from their own 19-yard line. Tigers will get the ball back here with 2:45 remaining before halftime, and should have some pretty good field position.
The last snap on their fake punt, if it was indeed a fake punt, was very high for the punter. He had to jump up, caught it one-handed, then did run to the left. It did look like a fake, but also was a very bad snap. See what happens here.
Bowman in single safety near the 50-yard line. Fassbender to kick from the 10 before the snap. Officials step in to stop play.
Might be a delay?
I believe it may be. They're taking a long time, so I wouldn't be surprised. Delay of game against Kaukauna. And the ball back to the 14-yard line. 4th and 12. So now Bowman stationed near the Kaukauna 40 to accept this punt. Tigers should have very good field position. Fassbender kicking from his own 5-yard line. Gets the snap. Kick is away. High kick, not real deep. Bowman back at the 43, up the near sideline. 40, 35, 30. Inside the 30, fumbles the football, but on the sideline, maybe out of bounds. And Marshfield has excellent field position. They'll put the ball in play at the Kaukauna 28-yard line. So the Tigers with a good scoring chance here. 1st and 10 Tigers at the Kaukauna 28. 1:54 remaining in the second quarter. Marshfield on top 13-0. And looking for a quick score here before halftime.
Forgot who the Tiger field goal kicker is this year, G.
Usually Ryan Krieger or Mason Coffin. I guess Mason probably would be the guy.
Okay.
Mason does have one field goal this year. Kicked a 28-yarder against Oshkosh West. 1st and 10 Tigers at the Kaukauna 28. Krieger back to pass, has time, lobs the near sideline. Meverton is open near the goal line. The ball tipped away, incomplete. Very good defensive play out there on the near sideline by Kaukauna's Morgan Swanson, as Meverton had a step on him, but Swanson leaped high in the air and tipped that ball loose at the goal line.
Yep, Krieger threw it up in the air, didn't quite get it out just quite far enough on the play, but a very good recovery by that Kaukauna galloping ghost defensive back.
He's galloping a lot.
Yes, he was.
2nd and 10 Tigers at the Kaukauna 28-yard line. Bowman goes in motion. Gets the handoff on the sweep, cuts back to the inside. No, it's Krieger keeping the ball now. And he'll be spun down, breaks away at the 25, and carries right there out of bounds. Boy, I was faked out on that play.
So was I.
Krieger kept the ball.
I was yelling, cut it up to Bowman, and he didn't have the ball.
No. Krieger gains 4 to the 24-yard line. Brings up a 3rd and 6 for Marshfield at the Kaukauna 24. Clock stopped on the out-of-bounds play. 1:39 remaining before halftime. Tigers have run the ball very effectively tonight. Krieger back in the pistol on 3rd and 6. Ryan takes the snap, rolls to the far sideline, gets a good block from Byrell, stops and throws towards the end zone, has a couple of men out there. The ball is tipped and caught on the deflection for a touchdown. Caught on the deflection, I believe, by Colin Fravert. The ball was going towards Meverden, tipped away by a Kaukauna defender at the goal line, and Fravert brings it in. Similar to the play on which Hortonville scored a week ago against Marshfield.
I was just going to say, turnabout is fair play. The turned out to be the difference maker in that ball game was a tipped pass in the Hortonville game where they tipped a pass. Marshfield player defender tipped it right into the hands of a receiver into the end zone.
Krieger to Fravert, unintentional to Fravert, but 24 yards, and both Fravert, Colin Fravert, and Duncan Swanson with their first varsity catches tonight, both for touchdowns.
Tell you what, though, kid's still got to be awake and still got to get to the football and be ready to make a play, and he was.
3-play, 28-yard scoring drive for Marshfield. Coffin now on the PAT try with Fravert the holder.
Flag, penalty, delay
of game here on Marshfield as they first of all lined up in that run formation, then changed teams and could not do so quickly enough.
Marshfield has a unique formation they're trying this year on extra points, a 2-point conversion type play where they've got 3 guys to one side, 3 guys to another, 3 in the middle, and they just kind of count players to see who might be open.
Coffin on the PAT try from the 15. Ball is down. Kick is on the way. Long enough, and the kick is good. So Coffin converts on the PAT try. We have 1:31 remaining before halftime. Our score now is Marshfield 20 and Kaukauna nothing. We'll come back to Beale Stadium and more football following this message.
Let's play Complete the Name Game. When I say River Edge, you say... That's right, golf.
But River Edge Golf Course isn't just your fun spot for golf. You should also think of them the next time you need a place to eat on Friday night. The River Edge Friday Night Buffet is simply fabulous. Check out the weekly menu at riveredgegolfcourse.com. They'd also like to host your wedding or next special event. Call banquet manager Jill Holm for available dates. River Edge Golf Course and Banquet, 715-676-3900.
3 Marshfield touchdowns here in the second quarter. And the Tigers now lead 20-0. Mason Coffin will kick off for Marshfield. Cole Hurst back deep once again for Kaukauna. There's a line drive up the far sideline, bouncing at the 10-yard line, picked up there. And the runner carries across the 40-yard line out to near midfield. That was Nick Kloboff on the return out to the 47-yard line. And good field position for Kaukauna. And they have 1 timeout remaining before halftime. 1:23 left here in the second quarter.
Well, Marshfield scored a couple, 3 passing touchdowns here tonight. One of those was a long throw to the goal line where a Kaukauna defender jumped too early and ball fell into the Marshfield receiver's hands, and now we've got a deflected pass.
Yep.
So some of the breaks that haven't been going the Tigers' way the last couple weeks are showing up tonight.
1st and 10, Kaukauna from their own 47-yard line. Van Asten in the pistol, Fralick behind him. 2 receivers on the far side. Kaukauna confused, and they made into timeout.
Boy.
Again, they're using a sophomore quarterback. And timeout Kaukauna. This, by our count, is their final timeout of the first half. 1:23 remaining in the second quarter. Marshfield now leads 20-0. You are listening to Marshfield Tiger football on AM 1450 WDLB Marshfield and WWOSQ.com. Our producer this evening is Tom Uthmeyer. I'm Gene Delisio, along with Dale Yukaitis at Beale Stadium in Marshfield. Tigers having a very successful first half. In fact, very successful second quarter, leading Kaukauna here 20-0.
Kaukauna only had 10 men on the field and tried to rush a man on late, but there still would have been a delay of game had they not called the timeout. So just right out of the off the sideline play, they come out with 10 guys. It's third or fourth game of the season. You don't expect to see that.
Kaukauna now lines up, 1st and 10 from their own 47. Van Asten back in the pistol, takes the snap, fades the pass, looks to the near sideline, and knocked away at the 50-yard line. A diving play by a Tiger defensive back. That was Brant Bowman playing defense on that series, and he cut in front of Hurst, knocked the ball down to the 50, incomplete. The Tigers have played some stellar defense tonight.
Van Alstyne is connected on one of his last 11 passes, that a 13-yarder to Taylor Shantz.
Kaukauna now looking at 2nd and 10 from their own 47-yard line.
He's going to throw one of those out in the flats, and it's going to go the other way.
2 receivers on the near side. And Van Asten rolling to the near sideline. Stops, throws on the run. The catch is made inside the 45 by Nick Giordana, taken down at the 42-yard line. Did not get out of bounds, so the clock is rolling. It is a first down, however. 1st and 10 for Kaukauna at the Tiger 42. 1:12 remaining before halftime.
Nice throw that time by Van Alstyne running to his left.
Looks to pass here, throws to the far sideline, and the ball caught at the 30-yard line. And the receiver goes down right there near the first down marker. That's Mason Van Zeeland on that catch. 33, about 9 yards on that pass play. We may have a measurement here, very close to a first down. Now they're going to give him the first down, I believe. So gain of 10, 1st and 10 Kaukauna. And now Marshfield wants a timeout.
Tigers a little slow on that last play, getting lined up out there defensively.
Tigers take their final timeout of the second quarter. We have 1:02 remaining before halftime. And Marshfield leads Kaukauna 20-0 here at Beal Stadium in Marshfield. Happy to have you with us for Tiger football this evening here on WDLB. Let's check some college football action tomorrow. John Rority, the former Marshfield Tiger lineman, now playing for UW La Crosse. His ball club in action tomorrow at Ripon. Game time for that one is 1 p.m. The UW Stevens Point football team featuring a number of local players, especially a bunch of guys from Edgar once again this year. And Blake Lehman and a few others this year. They're playing in Albion of Michigan tomorrow night. The Concordia of Mequon Ball Club with Albert Gerlitz of Owen Withee now a starting defensive back. They'll play at Augsburg tomorrow afternoon. Concordia of St. Paul with Mitch Zillman of Marshfield now starting at linebacker. Had 4 tackles last week. They'll play at Bemidji State tomorrow afternoon. And Minnesota Duluth featuring Marshfield Zach McManus plays at Upper Iowa tomorrow afternoon. 1st and 10 for Kaukauna at the Tiger 32-yard line. Van Asten back to pass. Being rushed now. Takes off, gets hit, throws on the run, and completes the pass on the far sideline to Freilich. He carries to the 20 and stopped right there. Van Asten in the arms of a Tiger defender got rid of the football to Freilich, who carries down to the 20-yard line for a first down.
Kaukauna lineman tackled one of the defensive linemen coming through. Hear the crowd below us screaming.
1st and 10 Kaukauna now at the Tiger 20-yard line. 50 seconds before halftime. Van Asten will lob it up to the near sideline, looking for Giordana, makes the catch at the 5 and taken out of bounds at the 3-yard line. Gain of 17 on that pass play. Gain of 17, a 1st and goal now for Kaukauna at the Tiger 3-yard line. Clock is stopped with 45 seconds remaining before halftime. Marshfield on top 20-0, but now it's Kaukauna threatening their first score of the night. Van Asten under center. Gives to Freilich. Straight ahead, gets hit at the 5-yard line and falls forward to about the 2. Pushing his way near the goal line. He does get in for the touchdown. Freilich scores from 3 yards away. A 6-play, 53-yard scoring drive, and Kaukauna on the scoreboard in the closing seconds of the second quarter. They've had 4 touchdowns here in this second period. Only 40 seconds left before halftime. Freilich on the touchdown run, his second of the year. Michael Colasso on the PAT try. Kick is in the air, long enough, and the kick is good. So Colasso on the PAT kick, and Kaukauna on the scoreboard for the first time this evening. 40 seconds left before halftime And our score is Marshfield 20 and Kaukauna 7. Marshfield Tiger football team back in action next Friday night. And VFA play next Friday evening. Tigers will be on the road next Friday night against Stevens Point. Game time 7 p.m. at Gerke Field in Stevens Point next Friday evening. Our broadcast 6:30 next Friday night. Right here on AM 1450 WDLB and on WDLB-WOSQ.com. Halftime from Auburndale. Edgar 36, Auburndale nothing. By our count, that would be Jerry Sinn's 399th win as head coach at Edgar. That's not official, but that's what we've got, and we've been wrong before, but he's up there somewhere. 40 seconds left before halftime. Kaukauna kicking off. Each team now out of timeouts.
I would say, what do you got to lose here? Onside kick it.
Might do that. Colosso will kick off. Tigers will get the football to begin the second half. Tigers have some handsball players up near the 50-yard line. Colosso kicks it deep along the far sideline. Thyssen at the 18, 25 to the 30, breaks across the 35-yard line out to the 40, and stop there. So Tigers have pretty good field position here at their own 40-yard line, but no timeouts remaining before halftime. 35 seconds left in the second quarter. Again, Kurt Taylor standing by. He'll talk to us about ballparks in Kansas City at halftime this evening. Tiger football on their own 40-yard line with 35 seconds remaining in the second quarter. Tigers out of timeouts. Ryan Krieger leads out the Marshfield offense. Meverden and Swanson the wide receivers. Gadel and Bowman the wings. Byrell the running back next to Krieger. Ryan in the pistol, takes the snap, has good protection, throws near sideline through traffic, caught at the 48-yard line. The receiver stumbling out of bounds right there. Good catch in traffic by Brant Bowman, out of bounds at the 48-yard line. Play gains 8.
An even better throw, Gene. That one was right on the money. Krieger throwing a bullet out here. Two defenders right there along the sidelines. A little soft, that would have been picked off.
28 seconds left in the half. 2nd and 2 Tigers at their own 48. Double slot once again. Krieger back to pass. Good protection. Now breaks down, rolls to the far sideline. Spins away from tacklers. He'll take off to midfield. 45, 40. Still on his feet to the 37-yard line. Stop there. Krieger runs for 15. Tiger first down at the 37-yard line of Kaukauna. Tigers out of timeouts. 16 seconds left before halftime. Clock is stopped as the chains are reset. Krieger under center.
Spike it.
Ball put in play. Krieger spikes it. Clock down to 12 seconds.
Tigers have been able to get some receivers behind the Kaukauna secondary tonight.
Krieger checking with Coach Gadel on the sidelines. It will be 2nd and 10 Tigers at the Kaukauna 37-yard line. 12 seconds remaining before halftime. Again, the Tigers are out of timeouts. And so Krieger may have to throw the ball into the end zone here, or a sideline pattern.
Tigers trying to set up that screen that they scored on earlier in the ball game on an 18-yard play, but it wasn't there. And Krieger running to the left, good yardage.
Krieger takes the snap, back to pass, being rushed, steps up, now starts to run to the near sideline. Still on his feet, throws the ball on the near sideline, and Bowman comes back, makes the catch, and goes out of bounds at the 19 with 2 seconds in the period. Out of bounds to Bowman at the 19, a gain of 18 yards. And the Tigers may try a field goal here. Mason Coffin on the field. He kicked a 28-yarder against Oshkosh West and may try one here. This is from the 26, a 36-yard field goal try by Mason Coffin with 2 seconds left before halftime. Colin Favorite is the holder. Ball is down. Coffrin's kick is on the way. It is long enough, and the kick is no good.
A little wide right.
Wide to the near side. Kick is no good, And that play ends the first half of football here at Beal Stadium in Marshfield. Marshfield Tigers in command much of the way. They do allow a touchdown by Kaukauna late in the second quarter. Otherwise, the Tigers play some very good football here in the first half of football. By the way, stay with us as Kurt Taylor from the Kansas City Royals Hall of Fame and Museum joins us at halftime to talk about baseball parks of Kansas City. Our halftime score once again, the Marshfield Tigers 20, Kaukauna 7. We'll come back with our halftime program from Beal Stadium in Marshfield following these messages.
Every team needs the right connection to succeed. The same thing applies.
You at the halftime report. We are here at Beal Stadium watching the Marshfield Tigers playing against the Kaukauna Galloping Ghosts. We're having a great game tonight. And we're going to find out what Jason thinks for halftime right now.
All right, guys, 20-7 here is the halftime score at Beal Stadium. Very exciting game. Marshfield Tigers probably playing their best game of the year so far, Rachel, and Ryan Krieger leading the way for the Tigers. Ryan is 8 for 10 passing with 3 touchdowns and had a couple nice passes on that last drive. So he is certainly doing the job tonight. He is on fire. 20-7. Some rushing stats here real quick. Bram Bowman leads the way for the Tigers with 6 rushes, and he has 77 for the Tigers rushing in the first half. Andy Gadel, 5 attempts and 12 yards. Byrell, 4 attempts, 17 yards. And then Krieger on the ground, 4 attempts, and he's got 27 yards rushing. The 3 touchdowns he threw, Isaiah Byrell, Duncan Swanson, and then a tip play in the end zone. The ball bounced around and landed in Colin Fravort's arms. And that's where we stay right now, Rachel, at halftime. Marshfield Tigers 20 and the Kaukauna Galloping Ghosts 7. Stephen, kids are coming in, so we're going to go back to you.
Baseball in Kansas City. Many of us think of Kaufman Stadium in Kansas City as a real baseball palace, a great place to watch a ball game. But before Kaufman Stadium, fans in Kansas City saw their baseball at Old Municipal Stadium.
The ballpark, the Municipal Stadium, was located at 22nd and Brooklyn right here. And it served as Kansas City's home ballpark from 1923 until 1972. So it encompasses a lot of Kansas City baseball history, a lot of baseball history, really. And a lot of Kansas City, a lot of her teams were able to call Municipal Stadium, or as I call it, the ballpark at 22nd and Brooklyn, because it had several different names. It did become Municipal Stadium in 1955 when the Athletics moved from Philadelphia to Kansas City and brought American League Baseball to Kansas City. But it was also our home, the Kansas City Royals, from 1969 to 1972. It was the Royals' home. And, of course, it would also serve as a home field for the Kansas City Blues, Kansas City's longest-lived team. They were here longer than any other. And the famous Kansas City Monarchs also called that particular ballpark home.
Kurt, this ballpark was like many of a part of a community, really. You just had normal community streets driving right by it on the southeast side of Kansas City, very similar, say, to a league park in Cleveland or a Shibe Park in Philadelphia. And, of course, this team came from Philadelphia, from that park. The A's did. I wonder if you can speak to that, because if you were to take a look and drive into that community today, it's a nice community, and you'd never know, except for that one plaque there at the corner. You'd have a hard time telling there was actually a baseball stadium there.
Yeah, there's really not a whole lot of it left other than that plaque there, but you are absolutely correct. It was built in a neighborhood. You know, when it was built in 1923, I wouldn't say it was the outskirts of town, but it was a little bit further out. It's not actually in downtown. It's a little bit further out. So in 1923, it would have been the trolley cars and the street cars used to go right by there and let people off at Mulebach Field when it was first opened in 1923. And it was right there in the middle of the neighborhood. There were houses all around it. And so it was really a part of the community for almost 50 years.
One of the things that always interested me about this stadium is that it actually had something of an unfinished look to it in the sense that down the left field line, the upper deck didn't extend fully past the outfield, and of course the roof line also did not extend out. You just had the lower portion of seating that went all the way out to left field. Was there any reason specifically why it ended up that way?
Well, the one thing is the ballpark was in place it was known as Blues Stadium in November of 1954, when it was known that the Philadelphia Athletics were going to move to Kansas City, and it was a single-tiered stadium all the way until that point. And it was really in a span of 90 working days between the time the announcement of the team coming in November and opening day in April of 1955. In the span of about 90 working days, they doubled the capacity of the ballpark, put that entire upper deck on the top of it. So that might have been one of the reasons why it had that sort of unusual configuration.
Talk about the way the field played, Kurt. This was a big ballpark, we should point out. And, of course, this is one of those parks that more or less had to be seated within the geography there, within the actual real estate they had. And this was quite common with parks of that era. You might have one field that is very large. I know the center field area was quite large in this ballpark. Can you speak to that and how the actual physical circumstances in the area where they built this park affected its design?
Yeah, it actually was a big ballpark. The outfield fences were rather ample in this particular ballpark. It abutted city streets, 22nd and Brooklyn, and so it was bound by the streets. But the ballpark itself sat in a nice piece of property that allowed it to have long fences, so it was sort of unusual in that day as to not have some sort of obstruction based on the geography of the ballpark. And in fact, when Charlie Finley owned the A's, he would actually move the right field fence in and out. He called it the pennant porch at one point, and he brought the fences into about 298 feet or something in that general vicinity, and was told that he had to move that back. But and his point was he was always trying to tweak at the Yankees, and he was always saying that that's what the actual dimensions of old Yankee Stadium is what that would be, and the league said that he wasn't allowed to do that. So they prescribed a certain length that he had to go back to. So he moved that fence back out a little bit, and then he had painted on it 1/2 pennant porch. So he was always looking to tweak the Yankees a little bit, and he actually moved the fence in and out on that, at least on that right field side, early on in the 1960s.
You know, Kansas City has a great heritage relative to the Negro Leagues, and that's certainly true with this ballpark. And, of course, the Negro League Museum, of course, is based right there. So can you speak to the fact this was a shared ballpark and what it meant to the community to have the Negro Leagues playing in this facility?
Yeah, I mean, it was a shared ballpark after the Monarchs came about in 1920, so it was a shared ballpark in its early days. They would both play there, and you always hear these great stories because the 18th and Vine district, which was the area where the Monarchs and the black part of Kansas City at that particular time, that was a bustling area. That was a center of commerce, a center of jazz, a center of culture. It was really an important part of the Kansas City community, and really had an impact on so many areas, from music to baseball. And they would have parades basically almost from the Streets Hotel down at 18th and Vine District all the way down to the ballpark to watch the Monarchs play, especially on Sunday. Sunday was always a big day for Monarchs baseball. As Buck O'Neill used to tell the stories, is the services at the churches would be moved so they could all get down to the ballpark, and they would all show up at Mulebach Field and dressed in their Sunday finest. So Sunday was always a very big day for the Monarchs. When they were home, that was a very special day. All Monarchs games were special, but especially those Sunday afternoon games when everybody would show up in their Sunday best.
You mentioned Buck O'Neill. I seem to recall something about Kauffman Stadium having a special seat in his honor. Is that still true?
That is still true. Buck, for many years in, I wouldn't say retirement, because I don't think Buck ever retired, but he actually spent his last several years working for the Royals as a scout, and he would always sit on the second row right behind home plate. So after his passing in 2006, we designated that particular seat the Buck O'Neill seat. And they only, to sit in that seat, you have to do something really special. You have to have made some sort of community service or some sort of act of kindness that allows you to be able to sit in that seat to where the spirit of Buck O'Neill, as we say, lives at every Royals game here at Kauffman Stadium in the Buck O'Neill seat, with someone who's made an impact on the community, because that's certainly what Buck did. He made a huge impact on this city of Kansas City, and we like to remember him at each and every Royals game by having someone else who's made an impact on the community be able to sit in his seat in his honor.
Kurt, when did the drums start to beat, indicating that Municipal Stadium just wasn't going to cut it beyond a certain point?
That's an interesting story, because one of the reasons that Charlie Finley always talked about in his various dalliances about moving the A's, which really began almost immediately when he became the owner of the A's in the early 60s. And so he was always wanting to have a new ballpark or a better deal on the ballpark that he had. And it's really sort of interesting that if you look back in history to find out that the bond issue that was passed to build what was originally going to be a single-purpose stadium turned into one of the best things Kansas City ever did, was the Truman Sports Complex, where they built two new stadiums, one for football only and one for baseball only. That bond issue was actually passed while the A's were still in town. During the 1967 season is when that passed. But still, at the end of the 67 season, he finally prevailed upon the American League owners, and they finally relented and let him move that team to Oakland. But at that same owners meeting in November of 1967, the American League owners agreed that Kansas City would receive an expansion franchise, though originally they didn't specify a time period on that. And that turned out in about 24 hours later, with some help from Stuart Symington, a senator from the state of Missouri at the time, to move up that time schedule. The American League owners came back and said it would be 1969. So the 1968 season is the only year in Kansas City that we have not had professional baseball, dating from right now all the way back to 1884. That's how long baseball's been a part of the fabric of Kansas City. Really, before the city was even called Kansas City officially, it had a professional baseball team. So baseball heritage in Kansas City they've just gone together for well over a century and a quarter now.
That's Kurt Nelson from the Kansas City Royals Baseball Hall of Fame and Museum, speaking with Bill Hazen about ballparks in Kansas City. Now, don't forget, you can nominate and vote for your favorite high school athletes as our WDLB WOSQ High School Athlete of the Month. Get the details at marshfieldareasports.com. High School Athlete of the Month, a service of Burt Trophy and Awards of Marshfield and Cost Cutters Family Hair Care in Marshfield. We are at halftime of our VFA football contest between the Marshfield Tigers and Kaukauna. We'll return to Beal Stadium and more of our halftime program following these messages.
When it comes to meeting your goals, time can be on your side if you put it to work for you. If saving for retirement is buried on your never-ending to-do list, we can help. Hi, I'm Edward Jones Financial Advisor Randy Gershman. Let's put time to work for you. Stop by our office at 554 South Central for a face-to-face appointment. Edward Jones, making sense of investing, member SIPC.
The next time you need a plumber, call Shriners Plumbing and Heating of Marshfield. Shriners Plumbing has licensed plumbers, and they've been offering fast, dependable service to the Marshfield area for nearly 100 years. They do it all, from pump service and installation to water heaters, water softeners, sewer and drain cleaning. They have kitchen and bath fixtures too. Come see their showroom to give your home a bold new look with Kohler. When you need a plumber, don't settle for anything less. Call the best. Shriners Plumbing and Heating, 106 East 4th Street in Marshfield. Quality Roofing, Marshfield, Wisconsin, is proud to include Wausau Athletic Park, Camp Randall, and Lambeau Field in their project lineup. Quality Roofing is equally proud to always support area students. Quality Roofing serves Wisconsin's commercial roofing and sheet metal needs. Contact Quality Roofing on the web at qroof.com or visit them in Marshfield's East Industrial Park.
You're listening to Marshfield Tiger football on AM 1450 WDLB Marshfield and WDLB-WOSQ.com. Tom Uthmeyer is our producer tonight. With Dale Yukaitis, I'm Gene Delisio. Our halftime score here at Beal Stadium, Marshfield 20, Kaukauna 7. Let's review our scoring plays, a service of Ag Country Farm Credit Services, supporting agriculture and rural communities throughout central Wisconsin. Neither team scored in the first quarter. Marshfield with 3 touchdowns in the second period, an 18-yard touchdown pass from Ryan Krieger to Isaiah Byrell with 10:47 left in the second quarter. Capped an 8-play, 70-yard scoring drive. Tigers missed the PAT and led 6-0. Marshfield got the ball back after a punt by Kaukauna and went 72 yards in 6 plays, scored on a 4th and 12 touchdown pass between Krieger and Duncan Swanson that went 35 yards for the score. Mason Coffrin kicked the PAT. Marshfield led 13-0 with 6:27 left in the second quarter. Tigers scored once again with 91 seconds left in the period to cap a 3-play, 28-yard scoring drive, a 24-yard touchdown pass from Krieger to Colin Fravert on a ball deflected in the end zone. Again, Coffrin kicked the PAT. Marshfield led 20-0 with 1:31 left before halftime, and then a touchdown run by Kaukauna's Tyler Freilich with 40 seconds left before halftime put the Ghosts on the scoreboard. Colosso kicked the extra point, and Marshfield led 20-7 with 40 seconds left before halftime, and that ended our first half scoring. Let's quickly check our halftime stats. A service of the people for whom numbers matter the most, Edward Jones Investments of Marshfield. See Randy Gershman or Brian Kaiser for their sound investment advice. Dale?
Marshfield with 254 yards in the first half, 140 on the ground, and 114 through the air. Leading ground gainers, Ryan Krieger with 41 and 5 carries, 57 in 7 carries for Brant Bowman. Krieger has passed for 114 yards on 7 of 10 with 1 pick. Quickly for Kaukauna, 128 yards, 36 only on the ground. Late passing flurry by Van Alstine with 4 straight completions helps lead to a 92-yard yardage count through the air and 7 of 18 passing. So leading ground gainer for Kaukauna is Tyler Freilich with only 30 yards. He does have a 3-yard touchdown run in the ballgame tonight. So Tiger defense for the most part playing very well. Got a little lazy on the late touchdown drive, but so far pretty stout, especially against the run tonight.
Marshfield will get the football to begin the second half. Some quick halftime scores. In the Clover Belt Conference, Spencer Columbus leads Neelsville Granton 56-0. Fall Creek leads Colby 7-6. In the Marywood, Edgar 36, Auburndale 0. Stratford 29, Tomahawk 6. In the Cloverwood at halftime, Gilman 6, Owen Withy 0. Michael Colosso to kick off for Kaukauna to start the third quarter. Ott and Bowman back in deep safety for Marshfield near the Tiger 10-yard line at the end zone to our left, the north end zone here at Beal Stadium. The kick on the way, high kick, not real deep. Bowman comes up to the 14, heading for the far sideline. At the 15, the 20, up the far sideline, 25, out of bounds around the 25, maybe the 27-yard line. Marshfield football to start the third quarter. Tigers with 3 touchdowns in the second period, and they now lead the ball game 20-7. First and 10 Tigers from their own 26-yard line. Ryan Krieger at quarterback. Brant Bowman, Andy Gadel, the running backs. We've seen several receivers. Wilhelm, Swanson, Miverden, and Coffrin all playing at that spot. Mitch Wilhelm in there right now, and Isaac Miverden on the far side. Isaiah Byrell, the fullback. First and 10 Tigers from their own 26-yard line. Krieger sets down the line. Gadel comes in motion, gets an inside handoff. Not much running room. He'll be plowed under behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard on the play.
Good job there by a couple of defensive players, one of them a linebacker for Kaukauna. That was Mason Stewart getting through, helping jam up that play.
2nd and 11 for the Tigers at their own 25-yard line. Tigers checking with the sidelines for the play. And now Krieger back in the pistol formation, about 5 yards behind the line of scrimmage. Gadel comes in motion. And handoff inside to Byrell. Not much there off the left side. Stopped at the line of scrimmage for no gain. Tigers have run the ball very well so far tonight, but their first 2 plays here in the second half go for -1 yard. 3rd and 11 Tigers at their own 25-yard line. And Krieger might throw the ball here. Throwing the ball pretty well so far tonight. Double slot formation on 3rd and 11 from the 25-yard line. Wilhelm split out wide to the near side. Meverton on the far side. Krieger takes the snap, rolling to the near sideline. Has time, now throws deep on the run. Wilhelm behind the defense, but the ball hung up, and it's intercepted inside the Marshfield or the Kaukauna 45. The ball juggled and finally caught by Garrett Ott. And the second interception thrown by Krieger tonight.
Yeah, he had a receiver open by about 3 steps, but running hard towards the right just wasn't able to get enough on the throw. The ball hung up and picked off by Kaukauna, but Marshfield did have a man behind the defense by about 3 yards.
So both Ott and Otto have interceptions for Kaukauna tonight. Blaine Otto and now Garrett Ott. 1st and 10 Kaukauna at their own 42. Early 3rd quarter, Marshfield leads 20-7. Noah Van Asten in the pistol on 1st down, hands off to Tyler Freilich, straight ahead for about 2 yards.
There's a candidate for a collision of the game. That was Mr. Schwannebeck Osterman on the play.
There's actually no gain on the carry by Freilich. 2nd and 10 for Kaukauna at their own 43-yard line. Sophomore Noah Van Asten quarterbacking the Galloping Ghosts. 2 receivers on either side. Freilich in the backfield behind Van Asten. Van Asten takes the snap and hands off to Freilich again. He gets stonewalled at the line of scrimmage by John Howlett, and he'll lose a yard on that play. Tiger defense looking very strong, though, marking back at the 40, a loss of 3, and a 3rd and 12 for Kaukauna at their own 40-yard line. Aside from that last drive in the 2nd quarter that resulted in the Kaukauna touchdown, the Marshfield defense has been very solid tonight.
Well, Freilich with only 16 carries.
Boy, only has a high of 79 against Rapids.
Kaukauna a little confused as to where to line up here.
And now the whistles blow, and Kaukauna wants a timeout. You're right, timeout Kaukauna. Their first timeout of the second half. 9:20 remaining in the 3rd quarter, and our score, Marshfield 20, Kaukauna 7. Back to Beale Stadium and more football following this message.
Nomination points can be found on the NHS website or NHS main office. Each year the committee looks at individual athletes, coaches, teams, and supporters of NHS athletics. This year's inductees include Stephanie Watt, Lee Weigo, Corey Geldernick, Jamie Krieger Martin, Elizabeth Ott-Butsky, and Mary Hartle-Jessup.
Marshfield Tiger football this evening here on WDLB. Stay with us following Tiger football for our block of the game, sponsored by Sternweiss & Sons and their block division, 100 East Arnold Street in Marshfield.
So far, the well-blocked play was the screen pass touchdown early in this ball game.
That was the pass play to Isaiah Byrell for a score. Kaukauna's offense back on the field. 3rd and 12 for the Ghosts at their own 40-yard line. 2 receivers on the far side. Van Asten under center on this play. Hurst goes in motion. Van Asten fakes the handoff, back to pass, throws out far sideline, caught by Hurst. Johnsrud will grab him and spin him down in the open field at the 44-yard line.
Awesome play by Johnsrud. He read that play from his inside linebacker spot and came all the way to the outside in perfect tackle.
4 yards on the pass play leaves Kaukauna with a 4th and 7 at their own 44-yard line. And we anticipate the Ghosts will punt the ball here. Trenton Fassbender on to kick the ball for Kaukauna. Brant Bowman back deep inside the Tiger 30-yard line. Good snap. Rushes on, kick is away. And Bowman in his own 29 drops the ball, then falls on it. Marshfield football just inside their own 30-yard line. 8:30 remaining, third quarter. And Marshfield leads this contest 20-7.
30-yard punt, no return.
And we'll see where they mark the football here. Looks like around the 25 maybe. Maybe the 24. Now the mark it up again. Still no placement. Maybe the 20, now the 28. 28-yard line. Tiger offense back on the field. 1st and 10 Marshfield at their own 28-yard line. Tigers looking to go to 2-2 with a win tonight. Caden Pierce out there in the backfield in place of Brant Bowman. He'll be in the backfield with Andy Gadel. Swanson and Miverton, the wide receivers. Krieger in the pistol on 1st and 10 from the 28. Gadel comes in motion, and Krieger rolling to the near sideline, pitches back to Andy, cuts back to the inside, no place to go, and stop back at the 27. He'll lose a yard on that play.
Just a speed option, no fake to the inside. Krieger takes the ball and sprints to his right with Gadel behind him for the pitch, but well strung out by Kaukauna.
Tigers lose a yard, 2nd and 11 for Marshfield from their own 27-yard line. Tigers again checking with the sidelines here. Good to see Lee Wangle, by the way, on the sidelines.
Yeah.
Helping out, coaching the running backs tonight. He'll be going to the Tiger Hall of Fame in a few weeks.
That's awesome.
Certainly well deserved. 2nd and 11 Tigers at their own 27-yard line. Krieger getting the snap, and Whistle stepped in to stop play. And delay of game on Marshfield. Delay of game.
Talked to Lee before the ball game, and I told him one of the plays that I remember most when I was coaching and he was a tailback was a game that was delayed by rain and lightning for I don't know how long here in Marshfield against a Wausau West team, and Lee came out in the second half and ran off tackle plays left and right and just dominated in that ball game.
Tigers have the ball on their own 22. It's 2nd and 16 for Marshfield. Ryan Krieger back in the pistol formation. Takes the snap and drops back to pass. It's a screen pass far side. Goes to Gadel and he gets buried. Takes a very big hit. Back around the 20-yard line. In fact, that was not Gadel. That was Byrell, 26 rather than 28. And Isaiah hit hard back at the 15-yard line. That play loses 7 yards.
Well, that's our collision of the game. I didn't get the number on that Kaukauna player. Kaukauna with those orange numbers on the white jerseys, and from a distance, kind of hard to see the numbers.
Tigers now in 3rd and 22 at their own 15-yard line. Pierce goes in motion. Krieger rolling to the near sideline, being pursued. Stops, gets hit, spins away, heads for the far sideline. Flag goes down, and Krieger stopped around the 17-yard line. Gains 2 on the run. We may have a holding call on that run by Krieger, that scramble. And Kaukauna would likely decline and get the ball back. Call against Marshfield here. Call is declined. Gain of 2 for Krieger. And long Tigers at their own 17. And we expect that Krieger will kick the ball from deep in his own territory. This one not over yet. Tigers up by 2 scores, but still lots of time left. Approaching the halfway mark of the third quarter.
Both teams with the number of penalties tonight. Kind of a sloppy ball game, frankly.
Cole Hurst back deep for Kaukauna inside his own 45-yard line. Krieger kicking from inside his own 5. Good snap. And the kick away, a very, very high kick, not real deep. Kaukauna gets away, ball rolls inside the 50, however, inside the Kaukauna 40 to the 39. 44-yard punt by Krieger. Kaukauna football on their own 39-yard line. We have 5:54 remaining in the third quarter. Marshfield leads Kaukauna 20-7 here at Beale Stadium. Marshfield Tiger cross-country team runs tomorrow at the Stevens Point Invitational at Standing Rock Park. That meet begins at 9 a.m. Auburndale and Edgar in that meet tomorrow in Stevens Point as well. 1st and 10, Kaukauna at their own 39-yard line. Noah Van Asten in the pistol, takes the snap, drops the snap, picks it back up and falls on it back at the 30-yard line. So a big loss there.
Snap not that bad, just dropped it.
It's a loss of 8. Ball's back at the 31-yard line, 2nd and 18 for Kaukauna.
You know, sometimes that's what happens when you've had a pretty good pass rush and your offensive line is getting pushed back. That quarterback will take a quick look at that defensive line sometimes as the ball's coming back and not concentrate.
2nd and 18, Kaukauna from their own 31. Van Asten fades to pass the football, has time this time, now gets hit, spins away, runs across the 35 to the 40, and Howlett spins him down. He'll be marked back at the 36-yard line. Van Asten gains 5 on that run to the 36. Leaves Kaukauna with a 3rd and 13. Brant Bowman and Andy Gadel come in to play in the secondary here. Schwanenbeck Osterman and Johnsrud leave as the Tigers look for a pass play here on 3rd and 13. Wide receivers on either side. Van Asten back in the pistol on 3rd and 13. Sets down the line, takes the snap, drops back to pass, and lobs deep down the far sideline, incomplete. Skylar Thyssen providing defensive support on that sideline pattern. Giordano, the receiver, Thyssen with him stride for stride, and a 3 and out for Kaukauna.
Pretty good arm on this Van Alstine as far as down that sideline. That time threw it almost 40 yards in the air for a sophomore. Not bad. Some of his out patterns tonight have been very soft and subject to pick off, but so far not so.
But 4th and 13 for Kaukauna at their own 36-yard line. Fassbender on to punt once again. Good snap.
Boy.
And the kick is a line drive. Bowman back at his own 33 to the near sideline. Turns the corner at the 35, cuts back to the inside and taken down at the 37. Ball may have popped loose there, but looks like the Tigers do have the football at their own 37-yard line. Marshfield football with 4:14 remaining in the third quarter. Marshfield still leading this ball game 20-7. All of our scoring tonight in the second quarter. And the Tiger offense heading back on the field. Beautiful evening for football. Glad to have you with us for our cast tonight here on WDLB.
Well, let's see if Marshfield can get something going consistently here on this drive.
Bowman back in the ball game as a wing on the near side. Gadel comes in motion. Pitch play to Gadel coming to the near side. Not much room here. He'll be forced out of bounds near the line of scrimmage.
Running to the short side of the field in front of the Tigers bench.
You can see that once again tonight, Graham Olson enjoying some picnicking up on his garage near Beal Stadium. See the smoke from the fire out there. I understand that Graham now is going, by the way, exclusively with organic crappies.
Is that what it is?
That's right.
Oh, because I thought it smelled a little different tonight.
Yep, only organic crappies for Ole, and he's enjoying those and getting real health conscious.
Frankly, it doesn't smell real good. I'm going to give those up.
It's a second down now, 2nd and 10 for the Tigers at their own 37-yard line. Bowman goes in motion. Inside handoff. No, it's himself pitching back to Bowman late and ran up the near sideline into Kaukauna territory and out of bounds at the 40-yard line. They fake the inside handoff to Byrell. Then Krieger runs the option, pitching back to Bowman, and Brandt carries for 23 yards to the Kaukauna 40-yard line.
That lays the wood to a Kaukauna player along the sidelines here. Brandt got the better of that one.
1st and 10 Tigers at the Kaukauna 40. 4:03 remaining. Third quarter. Marshfield leads 20-7. Slot far side, wing near side. Bowman goes in motion. And Krieger on a broken play keeps the ball himself and gets spun down back at the 42-yard line by Mason Stewart. Man came in motion from the near side, and I think Krieger wanted to hand the ball off and no one was there.
Yeah, kind of empty feeling for a quarterback. You turn to the right, hold the ball up there and look around, and everybody else is going the other way. I'm sorry, it's not funny when you're that quarterback out there, but when you see it, it's kind of like, uh-oh.
That play loses 3, ball's back at the 43, 2nd and 13.
Funny for me, not for him.
Yeah. Tigers and Kaukauna, first time ever these two schools have met in football. Double slot here on 2nd and 13. Gadel comes in motion, then goes back to his original spot.
Counting 5 count, better get it off. There's a delay.
That looks like a delay of game call here.
It is. Sideline was yelling out to the Tigers who were on this near hash mark, and Gadel started in motion, stopped, and then went back, and then players were looking at the bench like, kind of like, what do you want? There was some confusion, communication between somebody on that play.
Now the ball is back at the 48 now, 2nd and 18 for the Tigers.
Another one of those first or second down long yardage plays.
Yeah, we've had those. Freevert on the far side, Meverton near side. Double slot. Krieger fades to pass the ball.
Oops.
Being rushed, slips, spins away. Still in trouble back in the backfield and finally falls forward to the 49. He'll actually lose a yard on that play, and it'll be a quarterback sack for Kaukauna, their first of the night.
I don't know if that was supposed to be a middle screen or what, but the snap came back to Krieger, and before he even got his hands on it, there were guys flying through the line of scrimmage, about 3 Kaukauna linemen untouched. And looked to me like maybe they were going to dump a screen off inside the Byral. Couldn't get it done.
Tigers now faced with 3rd and 19 at the Kaukauna 49-yard line. Double slot here. Krieger sets down the line, drops back to pass. Has time, now being rushed, spins away, gets tripped up, spins away again, and runs across the 50, 45, 40. Drops the football, picked up by Kaukauna at the 35-yard line. Nice run for Krieger, but he dropped the football, was stripped away by a Kaukauna defender who then fell on it at the 35-yard line. The Tigers' 3rd turnover tonight. And Kaukauna has the ball on their own 35-yard line, trailing 20-7 with 1:55 remaining in the 3rd quarter.
14 yards on the carry.
Krieger's had a big night running the football tonight, really. 1st and 10 Kaukauna at their own 35-yard line. Tigers lead 20-7, 1:55 left in the period. Hand off to Freilich, trying to get outside, and gets out to about the 38, tries to hurdle a defender, then gets upended right there.
You're right, Gene. Krieger's had some nice gains tonight, 1 of 14, 1 of 15, 1 of 24, but he's also been dropped behind the line of scrimmage tonight 4 yards, so he's got 46 yards by my tally.
And that's still Orion's best. Well, his 46 against Appleton West, so he's equaled that mark with his performance tonight. 2nd and 7 for Kaukauna at their own 38-yard line. Van Asten back in the pistol, 2 receivers on the near side. Looks to pass the ball, being rushed to the near sideline, then gets hit and spun down back at the 28. Skylar Thyssen on the play. Gets the quarterback sack, his first of the night, first of the season for Thyssen. And a big loss as Van Asten put down back at the 28-yard line. That's a loss of 10. Only the 2nd quarterback sack by the Tigers this season. And 3rd and long here, 3rd and about 22 for 3rd and 17. 3rd and 17 for Kaukauna at their own 28-yard line. Van Zeeland wide to the near side, 2 receivers far side. And Aston drops back to pass the ball, starts to run, and dumps it off across the middle. It's caught for a short gain at about the 38-yard line. Ball went across the middle to Shantz and dropped by several Tiger defenders at the 37. Pickup of 9, but still well shy of the first down marker.
18 yards on the ground for Kaukauna.
Right. And now a 4th down play for the Ghosts. 4th and 9 at their own 37-yard line.
Well, they've got 7 or 8 negative yardage plays in there too.
And that play ends the 3rd quarter here at Beal Stadium in Marshfield. Our score after 3 periods, the Marshfield Tigers 20, Kaukauna 7. 4th quarter action coming up in just a moment.
High school sports coverage is brought to you by Security Health Plan. Security Health Plan, along with its many affiliated providers.
All right, guys, Jason here with this last show. We are at the end of the 3rd quarter where the Marshfield Tigers lead the Kaukauna Galloping Ghosts 20-7. I guess what you might call a stale third quarter, guys. Not a whole lot of action going on offense for either team. Looks like defensively these two teams have been figured out by their respective defenses. Big play there when it was needed for sure. Big sack by Skylar Thiessen. They called a defensive blitz. Skylar came around the corner in a third, and that led to that punt that is upcoming right now. So we are starting the fourth quarter. Marshfield 20, Kaukauna 7.
Equal opportunity lender and provider.
4th and 9 for Kaukauna from their own 36-yard line. Fastbender punting, pulls in a high snap. Kick is away, a high kick, not real deep. Bowman calls for a fair catch and drops it and then falls on the ball back at the 30-yard line.
Got under the punt and a little bit of a situation going on between Bowman and the man that helped cover that kick, kind of scrambling around and going after each other. But anyway, the ball was kicked high in the air. Bowman came up, called the fair catch, then had the back pedal turn around, and the ball went off his shoulder pads. But Brandt able to get on top of the football, fortunately for the Tigers.
And Marshfield has the ball on their own 30-yard line. We're early in the fourth quarter, and the Tigers lead this game 20-7, all scoring in this ball game by both ball clubs in the second quarter tonight. Tiger offense back on the field, 1st and 10 from the 30-yard line. Ryan Krieger at quarterback, Isaac Meverden and Duncan Swanson, the wide receivers. Krieger in the pistol formation. Isaiah Byron. Bowman comes in motion, gets the inside handoff and slips.
Yep.
Falls down behind the line of scrimmage. He'll lose a yard. Let's give you the Tiger offensive line tonight. Left tackle is Gabe Racher. Left guard Ethan Arndt. The center Connor Berry. The right guard Sam Hazley. Right tackle A.J. Leonard.
I have Brandt Bowman for 80 yards so far in this ball game.
Good job by Brandt. That puts him over 340 for the year. Only had 31 against Hortonville last week. 2nd and 11 Tigers at their own 29. Double slot once again. Inside handoff to Byrell. And not much there. Isaiah back to the 30. That's about it. 1 yard on the play. 3rd and 10 for the Tigers at their own 30.
Well, the game has really slowed down offensively for both teams in this half.
We'll head to Green Bay for our In the Huddle program Monday night, 6:05, right here on AM 1450 WDLB. 3rd and 10 Tigers from their own 30-yard line. See if Krieger throws the ball here. Ryan takes the snap, rolling to the near sideline. Stops and throws the near sideline. Meverden goes up, but the ball's over his head, incomplete. Isaac had a step on the defensive back over here, Garrett Ott. And the ball just out of his reach at the 45-yard line, incomplete. 3 and out for the Tigers, and a 4th and 10 Marshfield at their own 30. You're listening to Marshfield Tiger football on AM 1450 WDLB Marshfield and WDLB WOSQ.com. Tom Uthmeyer is our producer. I'm Gene Delisio along with Dale Yukaitis at Beal Stadium in Marshfield. Tigers punting the football. Ryan Krieger will kick it out to Cole Hurst. Good snap. Kick is away. A good kick again. Sideline bouncing inside the 35 and rolling sideways to the 33 and down right there. 37-yard punt by Krieger. 1st and 10 for the Tigers, for the Ghosts rather, at their own 33-yard line. Still lots of time left here. 10:24 to play in regulation time. And Marshfield leading Kaukauna 20-7. Tigers don't have this one quite wrapped up as of yet. Their defense has played quite well and need to continue that right here. Kaukauna offense, and they're going to send 4 receivers out to the far side and 1 to the near side. Van Asten in the pistol takes the snap. Back to pass, slant across the middle. It's caught by Giordana, who's hauled down at the 37-yard line. Nice play in the open field by Skylar Thyssen. And that pass play to Giordana gains just 4 yards. 2nd and about 6 now for Kaukauna at their own 37-yard line. They ran that formation several times last week against Menominee. They bunched 4 receivers on one side and 1 to the other side. Now 4 more on the far side again. And Van Zeeland near side on 2nd and 6 from the 37. Van Asten back to pass, running to the near sideline, throws down the near sideline for Van Zeeland, and the ball's over his head, incomplete. Boy, we saw face guarding there against the Tiger defensive back, but again, that's not illegal anymore. And that ball thrown out of bounds anyway. But you can put those hands up with your back to the play and not be called for face guarding as you would in the past. So 3rd and 6 for Kaukauna at their own 37-yard line.
On top of that, the ball was thrown wide and probably about 4 yards out of bounds, so one way or the other, it wasn't going to be complete.
Once again, Van Zeeland to the near side and 4 receivers on the far side. 3rd and 6. Now Hurst joins Van Zeeland on the near sideline. 3rd and 6 from the 30. Van Asten back to pass, throws far sideline, the ball caught, and it's a receiver breaking to the clear. That's Shantz to the Tiger 45-yard line, stopped by Johnsrud right there. Shantz makes the catch and carries to the 45-yard line, gain of 18, and a first down for Kaukauna at the Tiger 45-yard line.
Well,
go ahead, Dale.
I'm sorry, Gene. That's what you hope for on those short passes. You hope for a missed tackle, and that's what happened there. Should have been about a 3-yard gain.
Tigers lead 20-7, 9:30 left in regulation time. Van Asten to pass again to the near sideline over the head of Van Zeeland. Incomplete. John Reichel then throws him down well after the ball went by both men. There's a flag down also in the offensive backfield.
Yes, I think we're going to get a holding call here. Showed holding first, and now the official out there is showing a chop block. So I don't know. Either way, it's going to be a big penalty against Kaukauna, and take your pick.
That'll cost Kaukauna some major yardage. Let's give you again our car of the game tonight on WDLB, the new 2017 Buick Enclave. This premium group all-wheel drive Enclave is loaded with great features: the moon roof, navigation system, leather heated seats, heated steering wheel, and Bluetooth. Just several of those features. Ball's back at the 44-yard line now of Kaukauna, and Van Asten fades to pass, lobs up to the near sideline, and the ball's overthrown. Incomplete, looking for Mason Van Asten on a deep out. The ball thrown over his head, incomplete. By the way, that new Enclave you can have at a discount of more than $7,900. Save over $7,900 on that vehicle right now. You can see it here at Beal Stadium or on the lot tomorrow at Gross Auto on North Central Avenue in Marshfield. The 2017 Buick Enclave has that moon roof. The feature Dale's always looking for to toss those walleyes right into the car.
Yep, a lot easier that way.
Works out quite well. 2nd down now. It's 2nd and about 11. Van Asten to pass again, starts to run to the 45-yard line, heads to the far sideline, and out of bounds at the 49. There's a player down. That's Johnsrud down behind the play, being pulled up and limping slightly.
When you see 4 receivers all together that far to one side, Gene, unless it's a Hail Mary pass at the end of a half, usually that's going to be a situation where there's a single receiver on the other side or a quarterback's going to run on a draw like they did there.
3rd and 6 for Kaukauna.
Here it is again.
At their own 49, 4 receivers near side, 1 on the far side. Van Asten, quarterback draw straight ahead for a big yardage. 45-40, 35-30, and taken down inside the Marshfield 30-yard line.
Guarantee you somebody on the Tigers didn't cover the right gap inside. That's what happens when you see those kinds of plays.
Gain of 23 and a first down for Kaukauna at the Tiger 28-yard line. Still 9:05 left in regulation time. Marshfield leads 20-7. This game not over as of yet. Double slot here for the Ghosts. Van Asten back in the pistol. Takes the snap. Looks to pass far sideline. The ball's caught, and the receiver breaks free to the 10, the 5, and in the end zone for the touchdown. Quick slant. I believe that was Mason Van Zeeland on the slant. Got through a couple of Tiger defenders and scores from 28 yards away. And Kaukauna back to within 1 score, a 7-play, 67-yard scoring drive for Kaukauna.
Well, I know you're probably going to say, Dale, knock it off. You're talking very negatively, but that was just a little slant pass of about 4 yards. There were 2 Tiger defenders standing right there, and they both let the man go. Should have been About a 4 or 5 yard gain.
28-yard pass play. And now the PAT try by Colosso is away. It is up and it is good. And Kaukauna now within striking distance. 8:44 remaining in regulation time. Our score is Kaukauna trailing Marshfield 20-14. And back to Beale Stadium in just a moment.
The Hearing House. Pick your house. A Hearing House.
Are you looking for relief from ringing in your ears? Signia Hearing Instruments has pioneered a new breakthrough technology for managing tonal tinnitus. It simply involves being fit with hearing instruments programmed for the specific hearing loss and tinnitus pitch. A filter notch placed at the pitch of the tinnitus is provided through the hearing aids. Take action today to manage your tinnitus and lessen the impact on your life. Call the Hearing House, 715-384-4700.
Now the Marshfield Tigers back in the ball game. Their lead is down to 6 with 8:44 remaining in regulation time. As Michael Colosso kicks off for Kaukauna.
Tigers need to start to play with a little bit more emotion here. They're just very flat, both offensively and defensively right now.
Bowman and Neil Ott back in deep safety for Marshfield.
Crowd needs to get into this one a little bit and try to fire up the Tigers here.
Tigers with 3 touchdowns in the second quarter. That's been the extent of their offense tonight. Colosso set. And here is his kick. End over end near side to Ott on the 11. Up the near sideline, 15, 20, 25 across the 30. Takes a hit and dives out to the 35-yard line. Tiger football on their own 35 with 8:38 left in regulation time. And Marshfield leading 20-4.
Neil Ott, after that return, once again stretching out his calves. I saw him do that already early. I'd say about halfway through the third quarter. Saw that last week too, so he must have a trouble keeping fluids or whatever, because he has some trouble with cramping.
Tiger offense taking the field. Tigers need to move the chains, get a score here, and hold Kaukauna at bay. The Marshfield lead down to 6. Ryan Krieger at quarterback. Bowman and Gadel the wings. Gadel goes in motion. Stops, goes back again. Lines up on the near side. The Tigers shifting. Count is being made. Krieger finally takes the snap, has no place to go. Looks around, gets hit in the backfield, spins away and starts to run up the far sideline across the 30 to the 40-yard line to the midfield, and Krieger up the near sideline to the Kaukauna 30, the 25, 20, 10, 5, near the goal line. He gets in for the touchdown. Ryan Krieger, 65 yards on a broken play scramble. And Marshfield leads 26-14.
Krieger was in big trouble in the backfield, running left and running right. I don't know what the play was supposed to be. Tigers shifted several times. Krieger turned, didn't have anybody to give the ball to, and then took off, and then managed to cut from the right side over here to the left hash mark and gone.
One play, 65-yard touchdown drive for Marshfield. Ryan Krieger on a 65-yard run. Mason Coffrin on the PAT try. Colin Favorite the holder. Ball is down. Kick on the way. And it is good. So the Tigers get that score back. 8:20 remaining in regulation time on our score. Marshfield 27, Kaukauna 14. Back to Beale Stadium and more football in just a moment.
The 2018 new cars will be out soon, and most people don't take time to shop the loan rate when they buy an auto or truck. They just take what the dealership offers. See if you qualify for a lower rate. Refinancing your auto loan could save you hundreds of dollars over the term of your loan. First Choice has low rates, and they can work out a great payment plan just for you. Plus, you can feel good about borrowing from a local lender. Visit firstchoicecreditunion.com and make First Choice Credit Union your first choice. Federally insured by NCUA. Membership eligibility required.
Well, Denny Gato likes those running quarterbacks, and boy, Ryan Krieger really paid big dividends on a broken play. 65 yards for a scramble touchdown. Marshfield back up by 2 scores. You've designed several plays like that in the past.
I designed a lot of them. It's called, I don't know what in the heck they're doing. And sometimes they work, sometimes they don't. Krieger, with his good athletic ability, really turned on the Jets,
Yes,
too.
he did. Now Mason Coffrin kicking off for Marshfield. The Tiger lead back up to 13.
People that watch me coach said all my plays look like that.
Kicked by Coffrin on the way. Line drive near side and killed off at the 11. Takes a big hit as he crosses the 20 and taken down around the 25-yard line. So Kaukauna's offense back on the field. They looked pretty impressive on their last drive. Came down the field and scored. Then the score by Krieger again made it a 2-score lead for Marshfield. Kaukauna ball at around their own 26-yard line here. Mark it right on the 25, it appears.
Well, 3 athletic plays in this ball game accounted for big touchdowns, helped give Tigers the lead here. A couple passing plays and a long run by a quarterback and a busted play.
Double slot here. Van Asten back to pass. Steps up, throws far sideline, caught at the 35-yard line. And that Shantz again, stopped right there by John Reigel. Close to the first down marker. And it will be a first down, gain of 10 to the 35-yard line.
You know, he caught that ball and looked like he was looking to lateral it to a player coming back to the inside. Gonna have to watch for that.
Double slot once again, 1st and 10 from the 35-yard line. Van Asten again fades the pass. Rush to the far sideline, a low throw, but it's caught along the far sideline. Ball carry across the 40 to about the 44-yard line. And that was Freilich out of the backfield.
Yep.
Picks up 10 more on that play.
Missed tackles again. Ball flipped out there in the flat. Johnsrud overran the play, and then 2 other people had a shot at Freilich after about 2 yards, but missed tackles.
2nd and inches at the 45-yard line. Van Asten to pass the ball again. Throws to the near sideline. The receiver falls down. That was Shantz at the Marshfield 45. He went down. Reaching for the football. It's incomplete. So 3rd and inches for Kaukauna at their own 45-yard line. Clock down to 7:30 remaining in regulation time. Marshfield leads 27-14. 2 receivers near side, 2 on the far side. And Freilich in the backfield with Van Asten on 3rd and short.
Somebody needs to make a play here.
Van Asten to pass, far sideline, caught and then dropped, incomplete. Ball was through the hands of the receiver. That was Van Asten, Mason Van Asten, at the 50, right through his hands, incomplete.
You know, Gene, with all the X's and O's, offense, defense, all the calls, coaches doing this, coaching doing that, it still comes down to players making plays. The Tigers made some in the first half and got up 20 points. Now big play by Krieger also.
4th and inches at the 45. Van Asten to pass the ball far sideline and dropped. Boy, rather than go for it on 4th and inches, they run a pass play to Mason Van Asten, and the ball off his fingertips, incomplete. You would think they might just line up and power the ball in for a couple of inches, but they opted to pass the football and instead turned the ball over on downs.
Well, the reality of that, he was open, but I don't think he was expecting the football. As he turned around and all of a sudden, there was the ball at his feet. I don't know. Like you said, kind of a strange play with about 6 inches to go for a first down. Probably just thinking they were going to catch the Tigers sleeping.
Marshfield takes over on the Kaukauna 45. 7:20 left. Tigers lead 27-14. Tiger offense back on the field. Inside handoff to Gadel. Looking for a hole. Not much there off the right side. Gets about 2 to the 43-yard line. They see the Tigers run the ball quite a bit here as they try to work that clock down. 7:10 left in regulation time. Marshfield on top 27-14. 2nd and 8 for Marshfield at the Kaukauna 43-yard line.
Andy Gadel having kind of a tough time on the ground tonight. 8 carries for 13 yards.
Had 51 against Hortonville last week.
I think he does have kind of a bum ankle, though. He was over here getting his ankle retaped in the first half.
Double slot again on 2nd and 8. Krieger taking his time here. Now Bowman comes in motion. Gets the ball on the jet sweep, coming to the near sideline. Turning it back upfield. Not much there. He'll be pushed down around the 40-yard line and does gain 3 on the play. Marking back, I think, at the 41 here. So 3rd and 6 coming up for the Tigers at the Kaukauna 41.
Romano with the tackle.
Tigers using as much clock as they can, down to 6:15 to play. The Tigers leading by 13. Coaching staff again going through the signs here.
Taking forever to get this play in again.
Now Krieger has the play. 3rd and 6 Tigers at the Kaukauna 40-yard line. Krieger back in the pistol. Time count starts. Gadel goes in motion. Krieger hands the ball off to Byrell, stopped at the line of scrimmage, and no further. Byrell stopped for no gain. So a 3 and out for the Tigers. But the Tigers using up clock time, down to 5:35 left. And 4th and 5 Marshfield at the Kaukauna 40. We'll see if Krieger does punt the ball here. The punting team is coming in. 5 Tigers of the Kaukauna 40, so Krieger will punt and try to pin the Ghost deep in their own territory.
Sending the punt team on very late, using up a lot of clock here to give Kaukauna less time.
Hurst back deep.
5 count.
Good snap. And Krieger kicks it away, a high kick. Fair catch called for. The ball goes by the receiver in the end zone for the touchback.
Krieger punt balls into the end zone.
Kaukauna football on their own 20-yard line, 4:59 left in regulation time, and Marshfield leads it 27-14. Tiger football tonight on WDLB, a service of Remax American Dream Realty, Sternweiss & Sons Incorporated, and V&H Heavy Trucks of Marshfield and Prentice. Tiger defense has to stand firm once again. 1st and 10 Kaukauna at their own 20. Kaukauna has 2 timeouts remaining in the second half. 2 receivers on either side. Van Asten in the pistol formation. Takes the snap, drops the pass, a slant across the middle. It's caught for a short gain by Nick Giordana. He's driven down at about the 24-yard line. Gets about 4 yards on that quick pass play. 2nd and 6 for Kaukauna at their own 24.
Van Alstine now with 182 yards passing.
Sits back in that pistol, looks to throw once again. Looking in the near sideline, down the near sideline, over everybody's head, incomplete. Looking for Shantz on the near sideline, but threw the ball by him. Well covered by Thyssen and Ott on the play. Yeah, Van Asten with 278 and 3 touchdowns against Menominee last week.
Well, he's
so very capable.
90 yards in both halves, 92 in the first half.
Well, there's a penalty flag down on the far sideline. Illegal motion against Kaukauna here. So that play will come back.
Illegal motion.
And they'll mark the ball back at the 19-yard line. Big, almost a full moon up there in the northeast sky.
Oh, is that what that is?
Oh, they declined the penalty.
I thought it was Graham.
Declined the penalty, so the ball still at the 24. And now 3rd and 6 Kaukauna at their own 24. Van Asten to throw the football again. Has time, throws to the far sideline, and the ball is caught at the 35-yard line. And a nice play by Reigel to drop the ball carrier right there. Ball caught by Van Zeeland, and Reigel may have a cramp situation.
Yep.
He comes down holding his leg. Ball out to the 35-yard line, gain of 11 on that pass play to Van Zeeland. And a first down for Kaukauna at that spot. Reigel now walking off the field. 4:27 left in regulation time. Marshfield leads Kaukauna 27-14. And I think we're going to have a water break here. Officials are calling for a water break. So play is stopped with 4:27 left in regulation time. Our score is Marshfield 27, Kaukauna 14. We'll come back to Beale Stadium and more football in just a moment.
A tip from Remax American Dream Realty in Marshfield.
Staging can make an enormous difference when trying to sell your home, but that doesn't mean that you have to spend money on professional home stagers. Instead, follow these tips from the experts on the best way to style your home to sell. Sight. Use a flattering light to brighten your home. Smell. Create a pleasant scent throughout the house, either with candles or diffusers. Touch. Add textures throughout the home, which can entice people to your home.
This tip from Remax American Dream Realty in Marshfield.
Stay with us for our Football Friday night program coming up following Tiger football tonight on AM 1450 WDLB. Final score this evening, Edgar defeats Auburndale 43-0. Big win for the Edgar Wildcats this evening. And Edgar still unscored upon. Also a final, Spencer Columbus, a winner over Neilsville Granton, 62-8.
He's that four-man bunch again to his side.
And Van Asten back in the pistol. Runs the quarterback draw across the 35 to the 40-yard line. Picks up 5 on that play.
What that does is defense usually has to get an extra linebacker or two out there coverage on that, and it helps open up the middle of the field.
2nd and 5 from the 40. Van Asten to throw to the near sideline. The ball's dropped by Giordano right through his hands before Bentley Schwannebeck Osterman laid him out. Incomplete pass. And a 3rd and 5 for Kaukauna at their own 40-yard line. We have 3:56 left in the fourth quarter. Marshfield leads 27-14.
A couple of other Tiger ball players out there reaching down, grabbing their toes, pulling up towards their knees. This field is a nice, soft field to play on. We've talked about it in the past, kind of susceptible to cramps when you play on this, though.
Double slot for Kaukauna on 3rd and 5. Van Asten looks to throw. Far sideline, ball tipped high in the air and dropped by a couple of Tigers as Howlett and I believe Ott came together trying to pick off that deflected pass. They collided. The ball fell free, incomplete.
Yep, Kaukauna got a break there. No doubt about it. Ball tipped high in the air. 2 Tiger defenders ran into each other going for the football.
Well, Kaukauna forced to go for it with 3:50 left. 4th and 5 Ghosts at their own 40-yard line. They're down by 13. They'll go for it.
Let's get a sack here.
Van Asten in the pistol, takes the snap, rolls to the near sideline, throws up, complete, nobody out there. Some heavy pressure, I believe that, there. I believe that was Alex Steins, and then Van Asten threw the ball past his receiver. His receiver covered, I think, by Bentley Schwannebeck Osterman on the near sideline. And so the pass is incomplete. The Tigers take over on downs at the Kaukauna 40-yard line. Good field position for Marshfield at the Kaukauna 40 with 3:47 left, and the Tigers on top 27-14. Tigers bring in a lot of new faces here. Sam Hinson comes in to play quarterback. And now Marshfield wants a timeout.
Tigers call a timeout.
I don't know if Coach Gato wanted his second unit in there or not at this point, because this ball game's still kind of in doubt. 3:47 left in regulation time, and Marshfield on top 27-14.
Marshfield Tiger Booster Club will host the 5th
Marshfield Tiger football this evening on WDLB, and stay with us following Tiger football this evening for our collision of the game, a service of Arts Body Shop in Marshfield. If you're involved in a collision, take your vehicle to Arts Body Shop at 1702 Roddus Avenue in Marshfield.
Marshfield short a wide receiver on that play. That's what Coach Gadel was yelling towards the sideline. Where was the wide receiver looking at players? And sometimes that happens when you're trying to put in a whole group of players, substitutes, later in a ball game.
And he's going to bring in his second unit. Tigers up by 13 with 3:47 to play. So junior Will Voss takes over at quarterback here. 1st and 10 Tigers at the Kaukauna 40. And Voss pitches to the near sideline. Tyler Spaeth carrying up the near sideline and spun out of bounds around the 39.
Carried by Tyler Spaeth.
Tyler gets 1 yard on the play. 2nd and 9 for the Tigers at the Kaukauna 39.
Yep, and stop the clock.
Jace Langmeyer in there at fullback. Eric Kubosh is the wing on the near side. 2nd and 9 from the 39. And Voss will hand off to Kubosh off the right side for about 2. Brings up a 3rd and 7 for the Tigers at the Kaukauna 37-yard line. clock at 3:25 remaining. Tigers on top by 13. Kaukauna has 2 timeouts remaining. Tigers will now huddle up. Junior Will Voss at quarterback. Double slot on 3rd and 7. Voss looks to pass the football, throws deep down the near sideline, and the ball is dropped. Boy, that was Mason Coffrin, one of the experienced receivers, had the ball in his hands at the 15-yard line and fell free, incomplete. So 4th and 7 for the Tigers at the Kaukauna 37. And Marshfield looks like they'll send the punt team in with 2:52 to play.
Voss hit very hard after he released that pass, got up okay.
Ryan Krieger will punt from near midfield and try to pin Kaukauna deep in their own territory. Good snap. And the kick by Krieger, angled to the far sideline. Bouncing around inside the 10 to the 6-yard line. Excellent punt by Krieger. And Kaukauna takes over deep in their own territory with 2:43 remaining in regulation time, and Marshfield on top, 27-14. Final scores this evening: Edgar blanked Auburndale 43-0. Spencer Columbus a winner over Neilsville Granton 62-8. High school finals in for this evening. Kaukauna needs 2 scores. They have to go 94 yards to get the first one. Van Asten still in there at quarterback. 1st and 10 from the 6. Van Asten in the pistol. Gets the snap, rolling to the near sideline. Throws deep up the near sideline. And Reigel knocks it away at the 30-yard line, incomplete. Deep throw down the near sideline for Shantz, and John Reigel went up and bat that ball down with 2 hands. Incomplete pass.
36th pass for Van Alstine tonight.
He's been a busy guy. 2nd and 10 for Kaukauna at their own 6. 2:38 remaining. Once again, our football Friday night program coming up following Tiger football. A complete review of high school football around the state. Van Asten sits at the pistol. Back near the goal line, takes the snap, fades the pass, throws to the far side, and the ball received at the 15-yard line. Thyssen makes the tackle right there. Ball caught by Van Zeeland. Gain of 9. 3rd and 1 for Kaukauna at their own 15. Van Asten again to throw the ball. Rolling to the near sideline, Stein's in pursuit, throws on the run, incomplete. The receiver fell down. Going to an out pattern to Shantz on the near side, and Shantz fell down. Then Reigel tripped over him, and the ball fell out of the reach of both, incomplete. So 4th and 1 for Kaukauna at their own 15. Johnsrud and Schwannebeck Osterman come back in here as the Tigers anticipate a running play. 2:14 left. Kaukauna must convert to keep their hopes alive. They're down by 13. 4th and 1 from the 15-yard line. Van Asten will throw the football. Now runs a quarterback draw straight ahead and gets spun down around the 18 by Howlett, but he'll have the first down with that run. Howlett reached out, grabbed him by the arm, and just flung him down. But a first down for Kaukauna at their own 18. 2:10 left. Tigers lead by 13. Van Asten to pass the football. Throws to the near sideline. It's caught. And the ball carrier tossed out of bounds around the 18-yard line. Bowman making the play, the defensive play on Giordana. That play would actually gain virtually nothing.
Tigers almost got caught with 12 people on the field as he.
They did.
Did they finally call it? Trying to see down the sidelines here.
Yeah, they were trying to change personnel, and Tigers could not get all their men off the field.
And that's just a situation where Tiger coaches are trying to get another player or two in the ball game at the end of a game here and get him in the fray.
So the ball's now at the 24-yard line. It's 1st and 5 with 2:04 to play. Van Asten back in the pistol. Receives the snap. Looks to throw to the near sideline and caught. But John Howlett with a big play at the 24-yard line as he runs over Freilich after he makes the catch, and Freilich slow getting up. That actually may lose a yard on that pass play to Freilich. Hallett with a big stick. 2nd and 6 for Kaukauna at their own 23. Clock winding down, 1:40 left. Tigers up by 13. Double slot here on 2nd and 6. Van Asten to throw once again. With time, throws to the far sideline. The ball is knocked loose. Nice defensive play by John Reigel again, I believe, cutting in front of Van Zeeland to knock the ball down.
Reigel's cramping again, having trouble getting up. Nice defensive play, though. Got there and got a hand in.
And officials timeout. Paige Albrecht out there to attend to John Reigel. Have a complete review of all the scores during our Football Friday night program here on WDLB. You are listening to Marshfield Tiger football on AM 1450 WDLB Marshfield and WDLB-WOSQ.com. Tom Uthmeyer is our producer with Dale Yukaitis. I'm Gene Delisio. 3rd and 7 for Kaukauna at their own 23 as John Reigel comes off the field under his own power. Double slot set here. Van Asten back to pass. Runs a quarterback draw straight ahead to the 25. Outside, out of bounds at the 26-yard line before Skylar Thyssen could get there. Play only gains 3 and leaves Kaukauna about 4 yards shy of the first down. 4th and 4 for Kaukauna at their own 26. And they have to convert right here to keep the drive going. So Kaukauna could be down to their final play. Galloping Ghosts break the huddle. Double slot here. Van Asten back in the pistol on 4th and 4. Takes the snap, wants to pass the ball. Starts to run, now throws to the far sideline. Incomplete, a bit too high. And the receiver went up for the ball. And back down, that's Shantz. Thyssen hit him head incomplete. And Marshfield's offense back on the field at the Kaukauna 26 with 1:17 left in regulation time. And Marshfield on top, 27-14.
Well, I had a saying in baseball, don't pack up the bats to my players in the dugout, regardless of what the score was. But this one looks like it's in hand. And the Tigers move on next to go to Stevens Point next week. Always a big rivalry game.
And the Marshfield offense coming back out. Again, they'll use their second crew, aside from Coffrin, who was in their rotation of top receivers.
Next home game will be September 22nd with Wisconsin Rapids here. And they've got a pretty good quarterback again, I understand.
Will Voss at quarterback. He'll pitch it to Kubosh on the far side. Carries across the 25 down to the 20-yard line. Nice run for Eric Kubosh. Carries just inside the 20-yard line. Picks up about 9 on that play.
7 on the play, 2nd down and 3.
2nd and about 2 for Marshfield, just inside the 20. Final minute of play here at Beal Stadium. And the Tigers wrapping up their 2nd win of the year, their first home win of 2017. Marshfield go to 2-2 with this victory. And 1-2 in conference play. Will Voss in there at quarterback. And Will runs it himself across the 20-yard line down to about the 16 and picks up the first down. Voss for 4 yards on that play. A first down for Marshfield with 29 seconds to play. And Marshfield needs one more snap and a win will be in the books. And the Tigers improve to 2-2. Clock moving, under 20 seconds left. Voss needs one more snap. He'll stay in that pistol formation. And Langmeyer gets way behind him. Will takes the snap, takes a knee, and that will end play tonight. The Marshfield Tigers with 3 scores in the second quarter, and they earn their 2nd win of the 2017 season. Our final score tonight, the Marshfield Tigers 27, Kaukauna 14. Back with a full recap on our postgame report in just a moment.
No need to heat the whole house when you feel a chill. Get comfort and efficiency with a Cozy Heat gas fireplace from Sternweiss & Sons of Marshfield. The Cozy Heat Carlton, the perfect selection for your home to reduce energy and heating costs. The Carlton 46 lets you control the flame appearance, heat output, fan speed, and accent lighting, all with a fully functional remote. The Cozy Heat Carlton, the perfect selection in a gas fireplace for your home. See it at Sternweiss & Sons, 400 East Arnold, Marshfield.
Hey truckers, you only have one chance to make a first impression, right? So you better make sure your truck's body is looking fine. At V&H, Wisconsin's most complete heavy truck body shop, we've got 16 certified technicians and support staff. And from major collision repair to our 65-foot Garmat spray booth, we've got your entire body covered. You'll drive out of V&H proud and ready to take on the world. V&H, the driving force in heavy trucks and equipment.
Find us at 1505 South Central Avenue, Marshfield, or vhtrucks.com.
I bet I know what you're not thinking about right now. Safety issues when it comes to water and electricity. Thank goodness Marshfield Utilities has done some thinking for you. Of course, it's up to you to follow through with smart thinking about things like, to prevent scalding water, heaters should be set no higher than 120 degrees. Always dry your hands before using a switch, plug, or electrical outlet. Stay away from fenced-in power stations, utility poles, and towers. Get all the facts about water and electric safety from Marshfield Utilities. Safety is important, don't you think?
Well, the Marshfield Tigers earned their second win of the 2017 season as they defeat Kaukauna tonight here at Beal Stadium, 27-14. Our post-game scoring update here on WDLB. A service this evening of Ag Country Farm Credit Services, supporting agriculture and rural communities throughout central Wisconsin. Well, we had no scoring at all in the first quarter this evening. Then Marshfield put together three.
All right, guys, Jason here with the Zaleski Sports Show, and welcome to the Zaleski Sports Show Nasonville Dairy post-game show. Nasonville Dairy, family-owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for your upcoming parties, and cheese and sausage packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion, NasonvilleDairy.com. All right, we're finishing up here at Beal Stadium. Tigers come away with the win 27-14. They are victorious over the Kaukauna Galloping Ghosts tonight in this first ever matchup between Marshfield and Kaukauna. Again, final score, Marshfield 27, Kaukauna 14. We'll go through some of the game stats with you here as we await Coach Gadel. He'll be joining me here shortly, along with Zaleski Highlight House player of the game, Ryan Krieger. We'll start with the Tigers. Krieger went 9 for 13 with 3 touchdowns today. Andy Gadel, 12 yards. Brant Bowman, 93 yards. And I'm going to give way to the Tigers here just for a second. All right, guys, again, Marshfield there, victorious tonight, 27-14. As we go through the rest of the stats, Bowman 93 yards tonight, Byrel 17, and Ryan Krieger to add to his 3 touchdown performance, also a rushing touchdown and 99 yards. Oh, you're up here, Rachel, take your spot. Hey, Ryan, how are you? Good. Nice job tonight, way to go. Way to go. So we got them stacked up here back to back, so we'll get going here. We are here with, you going? Okay. We are here with Zaleski Sports Show Highlight House player of the game, Ryan Krieger. Ryan, 9 for 13 today, 3 touchdowns, and it looks like you saved the best for last in the fourth quarter. A 65-yard rip down the field. How did that feel heading down for the end zone?
I mean, it was just a great moment, like getting to finally be out in the open. That doesn't happen very often with me, but the ending was kind of rough. I mean, like my asthma started to kick in the drive before, and it was just, I got to the end zone, I landed on the ball, and I got the wind knocked out of me. Oh, it was just like a bad moment after that. I mean, I was all pumped and stuff, and then I landed on the ball, and I got the wind knocked out of me, and it was all rough. But it was kind of a broken play, too. Everybody was confused. Nobody really knew what was going on, and just happened to bust it, I guess.
All right. Coming down in the second quarter, you threw a ball up in the end zone, kind of bounced around a little bit, and Colin Fravert came down with it. What do you owe Colin tonight for catching that ball?
He always gives me crap about everything that I do. He's just a funny guy to have around on the team. But it was great to finally have him get. This is his first touchdown for varsity, at least. I actually didn't see it. I threw it and I got pushed down, so I didn't really see the play. But I mean, it's pretty exciting to have him score a touchdown.
Yeah. All right. Good. All right. Well, the Tigers draw back even to 2-2, and we are on our way now for next week. Ryan, we got one thing for you to do. Rachel's going to hit stop on my camera. Steven, keep rolling. We're waiting for Coach here. Okay, so here's how come right in here. All right, so Zaleski Show Highlight House is kind of a fun thing that we do, right? You're just going to look in the camera and put a little swagger on it, and you're going to tell Rachel I'm in the house. Okay? Good enough? All right, going? All right, let her have it.
I'm in the house.
Nice job tonight, all right?
Thank you.
All right, good.
Thank you. Have a good day. Hey.
Forgot microphone. Well, we'll get audio from Steven. All right, guys, we wait here for Coach Gadel. He'll be joining us here just shortly. We'll go through some of the Kaukauna stats as Rachel hangs onto my microphone for me. Oh, thanks. Okay. Got to turn the page, as they say. All right, for Kaukauna, Van Asten had a I would say a tired arm right now. He went 18 for 43 passes tonight for the Galloping Ghosts. He did convert one of those to a touchdown. Number 3 for Kaukauna, Van Zeeland hauled that one in, a long touchdown, as a matter of fact. In the first half, it looked like Freilich was going to run wild for Kaukauna. He was certainly tamed as the game went on. Finished up with only 36 yards. Van Elston, quarterback for Kaukauna, also with some runs tonight. He ended up with 60 yards. Some big plays as I think back on this, guys. Towards the end of the third quarter, Marshfield needed to stop. Offense was sputtering a little bit. Marshfield needed to stop. It was 2nd and 10, and looked like maybe they had Kaukauna figured out. And Skylar Thiessen, defensive back, came off the end for a big sack, put Kaukauna in a 3rd and 18. They end up just getting a couple yards on the next play and end up punting to start the fourth quarter, and that was really the end of it there for Kaukauna. All right, we are joined here by Coach Gale. We are on live TV, Coach. How are you? Yeah, how about that? Huh? Yeah. All right, Rachel's going to hit record for us though too, so we're going to get it both ways here.
Okay.
Yeah. Nice job tonight, by the way. Yeah.
Yeah. It was fun when you win, man.
Yeah, absolutely.
It's hard coming over here when you lose.
All right, go. All right, Zaleski Sports Show. We are here with Coach Denny Gadel. Coach broke the 2-game losing streak, back to even now on the year. Just talk about that, what that means to the team to get back on the winning side.
Well, it's huge. We lost a couple tough ones. Like 2 touchdowns. That was the difference in the last 2 games. And we got something to go our way. I kind of told the guys we're going to get something to go our way tonight. And the tip pass in the end zone, I call that things that went our way. But those things have to happen once in a while. You got to get lucky once in a while. 4th down touchdown pass, Ryan. I told Ryan many times already this year that he's going to have to rush for 100 yards. He had to have 100 yards tonight, so I hope he did.
We had him at 99.
Well, daggone, he could have got one more.
Let's call it 100.
So anyway, we'll round up. There we go. So he played like a man tonight, and that's what we need of him, stepping it up. And we got some kids in the football game tonight that deserve a chance to play in some spots where they needed to come in and fill. That's what we had to do. Our backs are going to get tired, and we got the backs that are on the sidelines, got them into the football game. So kind of exciting for us. Defense played their hearts out and helped us win the football game tonight, especially.
Yeah, Coach, you mentioned Ryan in the first half, 3 touchdowns. Byral, Swanson, Fravert on the tip pass. Coming out in the second half, I don't know if maybe you were looking at the clock a little bit or if it was something else going on. Only 3 attempts, so I'll give you this. Perhaps you were saving Ryan for that 65-yard touchdown run.
No, we were just trying to get something going. I'm telling you, there was no saving. It was tough to pass against the defense. We like to pass short, and we got to teach our receivers a little bit more about finding green grass and getting open, and then working our passing game is a rollout passing game. So his 4th option is to run. So that's what he's doing. He's running the football, and we got to make that happen. So it was pretty exciting. We did a nice game tonight. A lot of different things happen, so when those things go on, you make the defense stress out a little bit.
Yeah, and speaking of defense, Coach, your defense played well tonight. A lot of big hits on the field. Coming down the end of the third quarter, you had Kaukauna 2nd and 10. It looked like you needed really to have the defense make a big stand there to get the ball back. As you said, you were getting things going on offense. Wasn't quite clicking yet. You got Skylar Thiessen coming off the edge with a big sack, put him on 3rd and 18. 2 plays later, they're punting to start the fourth quarter. Talk about the defense tonight.
No, it was phenomenal tonight. The hits they were having. I want to talk about John Howlett, too, and right towards the end here when he drilled that kid, the ball was right in the hand and hit him exactly at the same time. Those are good things. When you start seeing the defense, they start feeding off each other. That's what you got to do. It's kind of like rabid dogs. They all get to the pile, and you got to start hitting people, and that's what they're doing. They don't want to be sitting back and holding off and saying, I'll hope the next guy gets them. We preach that all the time. Be the first guy. Be that guy. But also, next guys pile on, and you didn't get there. Our drills in practice, I watched Coach Len and Bergie and those guys. It's blow the whistle, and everybody sprints to where the ball is. And if they're slacking a little bit, well, then they get some little tuning in, and we get it going. So hopefully that's working, and hopefully they get the picture now.
All right, good, Coach. Well, thanks for joining us here on the Zaleski Sports Show. They're blowing the whistle, so I don't want to have you late for the bus.
Well,
so we'll let you off there. Congratulations on the win, and we'll see you next week.
All right, man. Thanks a lot.
Thank you.
Appreciate it.
All right, guys, as we finish up here, Zaleski Sports Show post-game show, Tigers 27, Kaukauna 14. Thanks again for watching the Zaleski Sports Show Nasonville Dairy post-game show. Nasonville Dairy, family-owned and operated, bringing you fresh cheese curds made daily, along with many other varieties of Wisconsin-made cheeses and treats. Don't forget to check out our cheese and sausage trays for our upcoming parties and your upcoming parties, Rachel. Cheese and sausage gift packages for the holiday season or any other special occasion. Rachel, bring us on home. Tell the folks where they can find us online.
You can find us again on Facebook. Just log in. Go ahead to your search bar and type in Zaleski Sports Show. That's Zaleski. You can find us on Twitter. Our handle is Zaleski Sports. Otherwise, we're on Instagram as well as Zaleski Sports Show. So make sure you send us a tweet, send us a message, let us know you're thinking about us, or just give us anything you want to say. We're here to listen.
There you go. That is the Zaleski Sports Show post-game show. Go Tigers and go Sports.